that they win the toss and will receive. Noel Prefontaine to kick things off. Remember, their last meeting, the Argos returned to kickoff, the opening kickoff for a touchdown. This is Chris Martin up to the 35-yard line, and we are underway. So Danny Mack will lead the Ticats out onto the field. 39 years of age, the comeback player, I think, of this CFL season.
You know, they might have to put an award or institute an award after this year, because here's a guy that basically was washed up. Even the taxi cab drivers in Ticat Bill said he should retire, and look at the season he's come back with.
Here's Yeast with some trouble, and he'll be swapped at the line of scrimmage as a little misdirection turned into mishandling of the football as Yeast bumped into McManus, and it was a disaster from the get-go.
Well, I like the fact, you know what, no sense saving plays. Let's pull everything out of the playbook. Little play action pass and a little bit of a reverse to Craig Yeast. Timing not working there. Very fortunate to come up with that football. Now it's second and a long 10.
This building alive, and McManus will have to fight the crowd calling the signals. Second and 10, and out in the flat, incomplete, I believe. Mike Morielli stretched up for the ball, and no catch. And already the tempers are boiling over.
Well, 60 minutes of football and go home. Troy Davis, big factor today. Danny McManus, and a guy you don't talk a lot about but could have a big game, Julian Radlin at the fullback position. Receiving crew, boy, I tell you, these guys can get it done. Two 1,000-yard receivers, DJ Flick and Craig Yeast lead this group. Archie Amerson also back in the lineup. Woodard Baker, Coulter Smith, and Hack, an East All-Star for the 5th time.
Jamie Borum, the University of Manitoba product, in his first postseason game with the kick. And there is Livingston, always dangerous. A flag down on the first return. Ticats complained bitterly about a lack of flags on the kick return touchdowns 2 weeks ago. And they contain Livingston just 3 yards on the return, and already punches being thrown. And remember, Labor Day, 4 players ejected.
Well, the reason the punches are being thrown is they're not throwing the punches at the player. Now, Livingston has taken exception to his treatment, but what they're trying to do is punch the football out. That's all that is. That's a good play by Wayne Shaw. Get in there, uppercut the football, create a turnover for your team.
And Wayne Shaw was one of the 4 that was ejected on Labor Day. So the uppercut is called, and the ball marched to midfield. So terrific field position to start.
Well, you know
for Damon Allen.
You can't do that. We always talked about that. This is a big game. Let the players play the football game. It's going to be emotional. It's going to be physical. Don't throw the corny penalties.
At the 54, Argos go to work. Allen in trouble and down. Adriano Belli, the Toronto native, with the first sack of the game. And remember, the Ticats led the CFL along with Saskatchewan with 49.
Well, 49 sacks, and you always talk about the 2 guys on the outside. That's Montfort and Cheatwood. But the fact is, they do their job. They keep in the inside, and then the man in the middle, Adriano Belli, comes up the middle, makes the play. Take a look at Baron Shea with a little illegal contact on Robert Baker across the middle. Lucky that flag didn't get thrown there, Chris.
Belly comes out. Rob Hitchcock checks in as a nickelback on second and long. And Allen steps up under pressure from Baranchia, and a flag down as the pass falls incomplete.
I think he's going to call that for throwing the ball over the line of scrimmage. That's exactly what they're going to call against Damon Allen. Good call by the official on the sideline.
Bud Steen in charge of this Eastern Semi.
Toronto number 9, quarterback was across the line of scrimmage. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Argos had scored on their opening drives in all 3 regular season games against Hamilton, but not here.
We take a look as he just crosses over the 45-yard line, delivers a football. The veteran that he is tries to get back, but the official on the sideline sees it, crosses it, throws the flag, and brings on the punt team.
Jason Goss has dropped deep to accept the Prefontaine punt. And Prefontaine, playing with a pulled oblique muscle in his hip, took last week off. And the left footer booms this one inside the 15. Here's Goss, brought down immediately. There's the leading special teams tackler all season long, Ray Mariusz, with a big early special teams tackle here.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sue Hustler Magazine for giving my wrist carpal tunnel. That ain't right. Lord, I apologize for that right there.
It's Lord, I Apologize, the incredible comedy album from the outrageous blue-collar comedian Larry the Cable Guy.
I was with this girl one time. We was drunk over at the neighbors in the tub, and she said that. She goes, I want you to shave me. I'm like, get her done. So I'm shaving her back in the tub there.
Get her done and get Larry the Cable Guy's Lord, I Apologize today.
Other states are trying to abolish the death penalty. My state's putting in an express lane.
Drunk in Public, the hilarious comedy album from the insightfully blunt comic genius Ron White.
Diamonds are forever. Why don't they just go ahead and say it? Diamonds. That'll shut her up.
Get Ron White's Drunk in Public, plus Larry the Cable Guy's Lord, I Apologize together for only $21.98. To order, call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com. Rush delivery available.
One minute things feel great, and the next, everything feels wrong.
That's when you need to call 1-800-448-3000, the Girls and Boys Town National Hotline.
Advantage defense after the opening possessions for these two teams, just the way Michael O'Shea likes it, playing in his 13th career playoff game.
The leader of that defense, 89 tackles, second on the team to Kevin Ivan, who led the CFL with 110.
McManus will swing it out. Julian Radlin. First contact made by Clifford Ivory. Kevin Ivan, the triple nominee and top defensive player, in on the stop as well.
That's a good job. You got to try and mix up this defense, led by Jonathan Brown with 8 quarterback sacks. And what about Noah Cantor in the middle? 10 quarterback sacks, previous best only 4. Fletcher, O'Shea, Ivan, and Bonner. This is a mobile, very active, and a very good linebacking crew. And a defensive backfield that really doesn't get a lot of credit that it does deserve. Now, how about Younger on that short side corner?
5 for Radlin, 2nd and 5. McManus nearly picked off. And that has been such a topic this week with 30 interceptions on the season. And Orlando Steinauer almost had an early one here.
Well, Steinhauer took a chance. He keyed on Archie Amerson, who's back into the lineup, just going to go over the middle. Just going to cross as he comes across, and you see 21. Orlando Steinhauer breaks on that football. Archie Amerson kind of going down, expecting the ball to be low. 21 Steinhauer makes the move and almost comes up with the first turnover of the game.
They told us yesterday that Amerson might have trouble with that comeback route because of the knee surgery a couple of weeks ago. Pick your poison here. Well, now it's just Arlen Bruce back. They showed Livingston early, but he moved up and bore him with a punt that lands at midfield. And contact before Bruce ever touched the ball, and we'll get another scrap here as Marcus Spencer, the special teams captain, in a duel with Arlen Bruce. Now, either Spencer felt that Bruce touched the ball, or he just decided it was worth 5 yards to take a run.
I think that's exactly what that latter of your 2 explanations there, Chris. The fact is, he's already within the 5 yards. The ball is bouncing. The worst thing it can be is 5 yards. But you still got to let him touch the football. He goes right after Arlen Bruce, takes him down. You're lucky because you might get a roughing. And that's a lot more yardage tacked on than the 5 yards it would have been for no yards.
So what happened to all this talk from the coaches yesterday about discipline? Remember Labor Day, over 400 yards in penalties between these teams. I know the Argos were admonished by their coach before and after their meetings yesterday, and Greg Marshall felt just as strongly that they had to keep things contained.
Well, remember this. You've got Greg Marshall, who is not exactly the most docile individual I've ever met in my life. Pretty high-strung, pretty emotional, wears his feelings on his sleeve, and I think his team feeds off him.
No yards. Hamilton, number 4. Major foul, unnecessary roughness. Hamilton, number 4. First down.
And that's exactly what we talked about. It's smart. You know what? He had the first part right. You got 5, it's bouncing. You know that the most you're going to get penalized is 5. But just let him. You got him surrounded. Sit back, let him pick up the football, and then crunch him.
Spencer's saying he took a punch to the jaw, but it went undetected. And this is a pretty good shot against the Tiger Cats as they'll march it down to the 26-yard line.
They basically gave him field goal position right off to start this drive.
So Damon Allen with nice field position to work with. Trying to get the Argos on the board first. Pumps, looks deep, and Tony Miles got crossed up in the pattern with his quarterback, and it falls incomplete.
Now, Tony Miles is going to bring it back to the middle of the football field, and Damon Allen thought he was going to go to the corner. He threw it to the corner, and Arabin Justin was the only player that actually had an opportunity to come down with that football. Just again, a miscommunication with Tony Miles, who's back in the lineup. Had missed a number of games, so you would think the timing's still not there between Allen and Miles.
Slow start for the offenses. The Argos, second last in scoring this year, last in yards offensively. 2nd and 10. Allen over the middle has a completion. There is a flag down as Arlen Bruce has the first down pending the penalty.
Well, the penalty was thrown deep in the secondary, and unless it's a rub against the Argonauts, it's going to be a first down.
Major foul, face mask, Hamilton 24, first down.
Now Bernard Cox is going to get a legal face mask, or hands to the face mask, as he's doing the shuck with the receiver. There's Robert Baker, and he's just kind of walling him off. I really don't see the penalty right there. Might have grabbed him a little bit on the route earlier.
So down to the 7.
The penalty's a big factor in this drive already.
First and goal, Toronto. Chad Folk, the center. Shotgun snap. Allen into the end zone. Looks for Bruce. He's got it. Touchdown. Arlen Bruce fought off Arabin Justin, who thought there should have been offensive pass interference.
Chris, just a scenario where you have both players seeing the football, and they both fight for it. And I tell you what, the stronger man won this battle. Arlen Bruce shows, look at that. It almost looks like he pushes off, but he puts him in a good situation by using the backside of him to push Justin behind him, and then he's the only one that has an actual opportunity to come and catch that football. It's good positioning of his body on that play.
Prefontaine adds the extra point. The Argos have struck first on a touchdown catch by Arlen Bruce III.
There's a brand new way to be the life of the party. Introducing PartyPoker.com, the world's largest online poker room. It's easy, safe, and free to play. PartyPoker.com has all your favorite poker games: Texas Hold'em, Omaha High, and 7-card stud. Learn to play like a pro, then test your skill against players from around the world. Woohoo! If you can check your email, you can play at PartyPoker.com. Register today at the world's largest online poker room.
A year ago, Sarah was diagnosed with hepatitis C. Feeling scared and alone, she turned to the American Liver Foundation for information and support. Tonight, she's going to see her favorite band perform. Join Sarah at Liver Rock at the Downtown in Farmingdale. For information, call 212-943-1059 or log on to liverfoundation.org/greater-NY. Together, we can make a difference.
As the announcer for the Snapple High School Game of the Week, I get a lot of letters. Here's one from Wendy the Snapple Lady. Dear Jimmy, I love high school football. How can I get more involved? Well, we made a few suggestions.
Move those weights! Lift those weights! Where's that muscle? Come on, Olsen! You can do it! Oh my God. Oh my God. You guys! Help!
St. Joseph battles Bergen Catholic in the Snaffle High School Game of the Week, Sunday at 8 on MSG.
See, there's nothing to this.
Puts the first points of this Eastern semifinal on the board. 3 plays and a penalty-aided Argo drive as the Ticats' lack of discipline cost them early.
30 yards is a lot of real estate to give up in this game.
Fontaine kicks it off, and again, Chris Martin from his 10. And Martin, unable to shake it outside, finally game tackled at the 31 as we take another look at the Argo major score.
Remember, Arlen Bruce was an all-star wide receiver in 2002. Now we're going to run it here. They're just going to rush 4 guys. But as we get farther into this play, I want to show you something. He brings Arabin Justin into the middle of the football field to give him more room on the sideline. Now freeze it there. Look at this. One receiver's looking this way, and look who's got his eye on the football. Arlen Bruce has the best angle on that football. It's a good play by him to drive to the middle of the football field and give him more room on the sideline.
One of the 3 kids in that Hamilton secondary in there since midseason. Here's Davis with his first carry, wrapped up by O'Shea at the 34, and Troy Davis, the CFL rushing champ, has a short gain on his first carry.
Well, short game, but you know he can get it done. He is the man. He is the key to this offense. You must have a running game. It's hard to believe that the same team in the first 3-4 weeks didn't have a running identity. And all of a sudden they decided, Chris, we got to get a running game going. We got good offensive linemen. We got one heck of a back.
It was actually their first loss of the year against Toronto that convinced them to go to the running game. They have to pass here on 2nd and long and convert as Mike Morreale, off a career regular season, has the catch and a first down.
Well, Mike Morreale, who finds the hole in the zone and sits down, and the ball is beautifully delivered by Danny McManus. It's quick, 1-2, throw to the spot. That's 2 guys working together, knowing exactly where they have to be on the football field.
11 on the completion to Morreale, who had 75 catches in the regular season. First down, back to Davis, nothing doing. Met right in the hole by Jonathan Brown and Eric England.
Well, Brown and England really pitched inside, and it's a gap control, and as a result, as they come back inside, see, beats Woodward 69's block. That doesn't give any opportunity for Troy Davis to even find a seam to kind of shoot through there.
Cats are going to need better first down production than we've seen so far. 2nd and 10. 5 receivers out, and McManus down. Eric England, who led the CFL a year ago in sacks, has McManus down.
If you can't beat this offensive line one-on-one, you got to twist. You got to try and put this offensive line on different levels. Watch how 95 ramps. He's going to come, and he's going to come around inside. As he comes around, he's not picked up by the inside guys. As a result, he gets pressure. He forces Danny McManus to pull the ball down, and it results in a sack. Only their 2nd in 3 games against this Ticat team.
Hamilton led the league in protecting their quarterback, just 10 sacks all year. Gorham. Here's Livingston at his 30. Livingston gets a block. And Livingston up to the 50-yard line. So 20 on the return.
This is the Mantis Tiller Cultivator. It weighs only 20 pounds, but packs more power than you might have thought possible. The Mantis Tiller digs in at 240 revolutions a minute, and optional attachments handle all kinds of gardening chores. This is a remarkable machine. And here's a remarkable offer. Purchase a Mantis Tiller direct from the factory. Use it for a year. If you don't absolutely love it, send it back and we'll refund your money.
For free information, call 1-800-282-0023.
Argos with the lead and the football. And a double tight end formation. John Avery's first carry up near midfield, and Avery has 6 yards. And again, as we mentioned off the top of the show, best 2 games of the year, best 2 runs of the season, both against these Ticats for John Avery.
Well, I thought there was another interesting stat that we really didn't get to, and that's the fact that against the Ticats, the average is over 6 yards a carry. Against every other team in the CFL, it's over 4. So he really does have good success against them, but you got to give that offensive line. It doesn't get a lot of credit. They're doing the job.
2nd and 4 for the Argonauts, who stay in twin tights. Avery made the first man miss, but won't get to the first down stick. Joe Montford with the first contact, but Avery slipped out of his grasp.
Well, Joe Montford's just going to come from the bottom of your screen, and he beats the block of the tight end. I believe it's Mike Mihalik, who's got this wall off Montford to say, you know what, I know you're quick, 53, but if you're going to make the tackle, I'm going to make you go the long way. You cannot allow him to beat you across your face, because that disrupts the play, and that was a great play by him. Now it forces a punting situation.
3-time top defensive player, ranked 2nd to Tim Cheatwood, his teammate, in league sacks this year. That dynamic duo with 27 between the 2 of them. Here's Goss inside his 5. Looking for some room and nothing opening up. And again, Ray Mariusz with the tackle, always dominant on special teams. Well, go back 17 years with Al Bruno on the sidelines for Hamilton, Bob Obilovich for the Argos. The last time, unbelievably, these 2 teams met in a postseason game in Toronto, and the Argos prevailed on that day. Last game between these 2 in the playoffs was in '99, a game won handily by the Tiger Cats on their way to a Grey Cup title. So once again, the Ticats start in a hole, and field position has been a story in this first quarter. McManus looking further downfield, and Tunkara in front of Adrian Smith with the catch. Looked like McManus was just going to swing that out, but wanted a little bit more.
Well, he had Archie Averson over the middle wide open, but again, Danny McManus feels that he can complete passes. He's not deterred by opposing players being in the same vicinity. He throws it, and as you say, Adrian Smith is there. Look at Clifford Ivory. He's over top, but again, nice throw. Great concentration by Tunkara to come up with that catch.
14 yards, Davis inside. Tough man to bring down, but so far the Ticat running game has not netted the results they're looking for.
They may have to start spreading this defense out, because every time they're going to run this football, everybody's inside the box on the defense. You see Kevin Ivan, Mike O'Shea, Fletcher, they're all between the tackles. What you have to do as an offense end is throw the ball to the sidelines. Maybe some quick hitches. Spread the linebackers out. You'll have a little bit more success coming out the middle with the running game.
Davis just met 3 of those active 4 linebackers on one play. Over the middle, ball tipped. And McManus couldn't hook up with Morreale. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they really like to bring the linebackers, and I believe it's Antonius Bonner, number 10, is going to come from the far side. But Mike O'Shea in the middle gets his hand up. Good pressure from the outside. Mike O'Shea is coming on the blitz. He loves to play that. He'll sit there, and what he's doing, he's spying the back. Back goes out, he releases. Back stays in the block. He just occupies the offensive lineman.
Played his 200th regular season game last week against Montreal. He didn't get the week off, but already in outstanding postseason form.
Well, the guys that didn't get the week off just split their checks.
Warren blasts another. Arlen Bruce back at his 34. And good coverage there by the Ticats. And no flags. 3:34 left, first quarter. That's Guido.
There are 3 things you can count on in life: death, taxes, and cable rate increases. Thousands of Americans each day have realized that rising cable rates and poor service are not their only choice. People are switching to DirecTV. Switching to DirecTV service has never been easier, now that you can get up to a 4-room system for free. DirecTV service offers you more value and more digital channels. With the DirecTV Total Choice with Local Channels programming package, you'll get over 125 channels of your favorite programming with true digital quality picture and sound. And best of all, you get your favorite local channels too. DirecTV also offers access to premium programming like HBO, Star Super Pack, Showtime Unlimited, Cinemax Plus, Sports Pack, plus access to up to 55 pay-per-view choices a day. Or take your choice of the best sports subscriptions available, including NFL Sunday Ticket, exclusively from DirecTV. Your choice has never been easier. Call now and order your standard DirecTV system for up to 4 rooms for free. That's a $299 value. And your free standard professional installation is always included. Call now.
Worms and germs can attack your computer.
Something's wrong with your computer and you've tried everything.
Try this.
One quick click. Velos will keep your entire system virus-free, safe, and secure.
With Velos, to make it faster than the day you got it.
Visit velos.com.
And make it quick.
If you even think you're slowing down, get a free virus scan at velos.com and make it fast.
Well, for one night only, Comedy Friday shows are sliding over to Sunday. All the big laughs 48 hours later, Sunday night, starting at 8 o'clock. That's because we've got Friday night football. There's an interesting concept, might work. There's Augie Baranchia, the Canadian rookie middle linebacker. I wonder if he thought when training camp started that he'd be the starting middle linebacker against the hated Argos in an Eastern playoff game. Argos start with the pitch to Avery. Trying to get outside. John Avery. And he's pulled down from behind. Up across midfield. Tim Cheatwood had to come all the way across and pull down the dangerous John Avery.
Oh, you talked about Augustin Baranchia. He just gets caught. There he is, number 39, as he's just going to do the flow. Now watch Chad Folk. That's 56. That's the center. He gets over. That's a nice job of staying with the man twice, not once, and getting Baranchia, allowing Avery to pick up additional yards.
19 for Avery, who came up 26 yards short of 1,000 on the year. First down, Argonauts. Avery's number called again, and he runs over Renard Cox, brought down at the 47. 4 more for Avery.
But what I see here, Chris, is that there is a commitment to running the football by the Argonauts right now. Nothing more than a glorified sweep. They're going to get a lead blocker with Jeff Johnson. The tight end's going to be over there. And then let that man, John Avery, find his hole. If it's outside, take it outside. If there's something inside, hey, this guy's got the speed and the cuts to make something happen back against the flow.
Renard Cox out of the game for Hamilton. Marcus Spencer checks in at that spot. 2nd and 6. Allen pumps. Looks for Bruce. Incomplete. Well covered by Jason Goss. And it will be 3rd down.
Well, pattern, they found success earlier in the quarter with Arlen Bruce just dragging across the middle of the football field, hoping to get a little separation from the cover man. But you see right there, there's 27. Jason Goss, step for step, right in the hip pocket, going over, not allowing Arlen Bruce to come up with a catch.
Bruce, the man who scored the touchdown. And now Craig Yeast, the other number 5 on the field, checks in as a punt returner for the first time for Hamilton. And Yeast second in all-purpose yards in the CFL this year, 1 yard behind Corey Holmes of Saskatchewan. Prefontaine looking to pin them inside the 10. Textbook stuff from Noel Prefontaine. And once again, the Ticats are backed up.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Standard Life. Keeping our word is standard.
Offensive coordinator Ken Austin.
You understand that?
It's been a rocky year for the Argos. They've got plenty of talent on paper, but the chemistry has probably been lacking because of injuries, late arrivals like that of Arlen Bruce. Jamie Barisi, the offensive coordinator for Hamilton, has got to come up with something. And Troy Davis is usually a pretty good answer across the 15.
The thing you have to remember is don't panic. I've seen a lot of times situations happen where it's not successful, and we say, forget that play, it ain't going to work. You got a guy like Troy Davis, you know you made your bread, you made your money with this guy carrying the football, you've got to keep giving the football. He's going to break one. This is the first time, I think, Chris, they've actually got good first down production.
7 for Davis, so it'll be 2nd and 3. They didn't panic 2 weeks ago when they fell behind by 28. There's a short pickup by Morreale, but enough for the first down as he's brought down by Clifford Ivory, the former Tie-Cap.
And more important, throwing the football to the sideline. I know it's a dangerous throw, but the fact is, you're in the middle of the football field, it's the same distance to the left or the right. The fact is also, you're going to spread this defense out a little bit. You can't always go between the tackles or the hash marks. You got to utilize it. You got a big field, might as well use it all.
Second first down for Hamilton. Dangerous throw. And Dondra Gilliam drops the ball. He had 6 catches in the first 8 minutes last week against Ottawa. And Pinball Clemens said to us yesterday, that 84 looks scary.
He looked scary, but he actually stopped and lost concentration on the ball because he actually thought that Ivory was going to intercept it. He was going to be in the chase mode.
That's the end of the first quarter. One dominated by the Argonauts. Greg Marshall's team's down by a touchdown.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a sit rep from Alpha Company.
BP, ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learn, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
These guys are one step away from the National Hockey League. They're very, very hungry. Like Joe Ballet, who sticks out because he's a great offensive player. He's certainly going to put the numbers up, and he's an exciting guy to watch. Fedor's tough. He shoots the puck well. He skates well. He can play the game any way you want to play it. He's one of the bright young stars in the game. Jed Ortmeyer, he'll provide some real leadership, but he'll also provide that energy and that spark, and comes in with a world of experience as well. They'll work hard. They'll play hard, and hopefully we can translate that into what we're going to do in New York.
Introducing the New York Post Family Classics Library. When your children pick up a classic, they may never put it down. Each week when you buy the New York Post, you'll be able to get a new high-quality hardcover novel available at participating retailers. There are 15 books in all, only $5.99. Start your family's literary legacy today with the New York Post Family Classics Library. Only when you buy the New York Post.
A skyward look at Skydome after 1 quarter of play.
Well, it's been a defensive game as evidenced by 3 first downs each. Obviously the big factor, the penalties. The Tie-Cats took the 30 yards in a row that allowed Toronto to go down. They completed it with a touchdown 7-yarder to Arlen Bruce to take the 7-0 lead.
Both offenses quiet. 2nd and 10, Hamilton. McManus under pressure, overthrows Morreale, and he was in triple coverage.
And I know we pumped this offensive line, but Toronto's only bringing 5 guys. They're not bringing the house. There's only 4 coming right there, and they're getting pressure on Danny Mac. But once again, we talked about the way to beat this line, and that is to put the linemen on different levels. And doing that is by running stunts. And they're picking the other linemen, and they're getting pressure on Danny McManus. The thing that hurts it, if you got a stunt and you got a guy wrap around to the outside, and you got a running play, and it hits that open area where the lineman just vacated, it's going a long way.
Already the 5th punt of the game for Jamie Borum. Livingston dropped it, quickly recovers, and he'll be pushed out at the 51. But once again, the Argos have enjoyed great field position throughout this game. We've got Michael O'Shea wired for sound tonight. Let's listen in.
Let's go. Let's go.
I wish we had a camera in the booth when Dave Hack and Wayne Shaw or Wayne Smith were taking their shots at the middle linebacker. You related to that, didn't you?
No, I don't need Viagra.
At the 51-yard line, Allen looking for Tony Miles, held up, and a penalty flag is thrown. Diedrich Mathis is going to be called, and Camus Reed better be careful. The defensive coordinator well out on the field to protest the penalty.
Well, this is a good call. The officials have taken a lot of heat in recent weeks, but the official is right on. Diedrich Mathis allows Tony Miles to get behind him, and he has to actually grab the jersey.
Hamilton 26. First down.
You're going to take a look at it. He's going to fake like he's going in, then he's going to break it up the field, and you see the tug on the jersey, just enough to slow him down. The official's going to grab. Remember the contact. You're not allowed to have contact downfield. Now, I know, Chris, you give me that look.
I'm giving you that look.
Like I'm doing your taxes.
Boy, that happens on just about every play, doesn't it? Here's Robert Baker with a catch. And Baker inside the 25 has another Argo first down.
Well, this is a situation where they drag Baker across the middle. Bernard Cox, the weak side linebacker's got to stay with him. He tries to stay in the hip pocket, but Baker, who they say is the toughest, strongest player on this team, not just of the receivers, gets the job done. He's really come as he's learning how to play this slot back position. They moved him inside. He's getting better every week.
Kent Austin says he's the toughest receiver he's seen since Ray Elgard.
Wow.
That's tough.
That's a compliment.
First down, Argo's threatening, but Allen in trouble. And down he goes and dropped the ball. Wild pile up. Who's on it?
Well, Chris Martin, who had 2 sacks last week, it's a delay. This is a delayed blitz.
Cat football.
And he comes from the halfback position, and Damon Allen does not pay him any attention because it's delayed. And as he drops back, 29 comes in there and jars the ball loose.
And Tim Cheatwood just came up with it out of that wild scrum.
Well, that is a big break for the Ticats because the Argos were marching, but there he is, 29, coming from the halfback. It's a delay. He's not lining up. He's not giving it away. That is smart football of hiding the blitz package.
And that was some battle in the trenches after Martin forced the ball loose. The defensive player of the week, Chris Martin, for his performance against the Renegades. So the Ticats get the first big turnover. And now McManus looks for Gilliam, and he is separated from the ball. Antonius Bonner, and Gilliam still down.
Well, Antonius Bonner, rocked him, and Craig Yeast is already waving to the sideline. Let's get someone over here. And the ball is delivered. The man you mentioned that Mike Clemens, the coach of the Argonauts, fears is 84. Figures he's got the big play potential. In his 7th football game, comes across, makes the catch, but what a hit from the backside by Antonius Bonner. Just sitting back in that zone coverage, and he unloaded. Take a look. Nice job of Wayne Smith coming out, picking up Ivan on the blitz. There's the catch, and as he comes in, number 10 ready to meet him. You can hear the contact. We talked about the intensity of it, and of course you just magnify that and increase it when it's a playoff game. The stakes are just that much higher.
And Gilliam hasn't moved very much since that contact. We'll take a timeout here early in the second quarter at Skydome.
Own a timeshare or campground membership? Turn it into cash.
Timeshares Only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency, representing properties from the biggest names in the industry.
No one sells more timeshares.
Call now and receive a free information kit, including 10 secrets to timeshares. You owe it to yourself to work with the best.
Don't delay. Call 800-910-8635 now.
Hey, accidents happen. Fortunately, Moore's has a wide selection of stain and wrinkle-resistant pants from brands like Lee and Dockers. Moore's. Well-made, well-priced, well-dressed.
There's Craig Yeast with the football, taking the short McManus pass. We're happy to report that Gilliam just got to his feet and was able to spring off the field.
Well, we took a couple looks at it, and it looked like that when he got contacted by Antonius Bonner, that it was almost a shot to the head. That might be what kind of laid him out momentarily, as we see a little dump pass to Craig Yeast, who attempts to stretch up here that first down. They will come up short, and once again, Moram on to punt.
Well, Pinball said this guy is scary, and that was a scary hit by Antonius Bonner over the middle. Jamie Borum back in, one of the busiest Ticats so far. Arlen Bruce III at the 35 to move up the sidelines near the Argo bench. And again, the double blue with good field position. Troy Saunders forcing Bruce out of bounds.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Nothing brings back warm holiday memories like the songs and carols you love. And only Time Life's Treasury of Christmas brings you all your favorite holiday songs in one collection.
Hark the herald angels sing.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Have a holly jolly Christmas.
You'll get cherished holiday songs like Bing Crosby's White Christmas.
Of a white Christmas.
Time Life's Treasury of Christmas on 2 cassettes, $19.99, or 2 CDs, $26.99. So call now and have yourself a Merry Christmas.
Call 800-845-1001 or send $19.99 for 2 cassettes or $26.99 for 2 CDs plus $4.99 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Look at the playoff throng here at Skydome tonight for the Eastern semifinal. And the Argos following a familiar pattern so far, that sturdy, stout defense, setting things up for an offense that has not been in high gear, but does have one touchdown on the Allen to Bruce connection.
But the thing is, they've started off with great field position, and they only got 7 points to show for it. So the longer the Ticats hang in, the better.
Pitch, Avery left side. Joe Montfort wraps him quickly and holds the gain to 3.
I mean, I really am very impressed with the front four, the activity that's going on by this defensive line. Blocked at the point of attack. Again, Mike Mihalik thinks, I've got him to the outside, but the quickness of Joe Montfort to come back in after recognizing the cutback by Avery to wrap him up and limit his gain to 3 yards. That's a great play by Joe Montfort.
3-time top defensive player in the league, 2nd and 7. Here comes Montfort again. Allen outside and is nailed, but gets it away. Andre Talbot with the catch. Wrestled down by Chris Martin. It's an Argo first down. And Damon Allen took a lick.
Well, we just talked about Joe Montfort and how he does smart, but again, watch him come to the inside. There's nobody to the outside. Now the linebacker falls off, and he's going to come up and he's going to drill. That's Baron Chia. He's going to drill Damon Allen after he throws the football, or just as he's throwing it. But the fact is, there is no contain. Now, I know that Montfort likes to play the games, and he's been given free rein to rush. But sometimes, with a guy like Damon Allen, you got to make sure you got somebody in that contain spot.
17 on the gain. Avery, delay, and he's upended. Donovan Carter, an Argo draft choice, upends Avery before he can get going.
That's a nice play again by Donovan Carter going to the open spot. The defense is playing gap control. That means there's one hole that's not taken up, and that is where they meet. They do this drill in minor bantam. They line up the two bags. The back goes there. The running back goes the other place. They say pick a hole, and they have to meet. That's exactly what that was right there.
Two Canadian linebackers, Carter and Baranchia for Hamilton. It's 2nd and 7. And the pass from Tony Miles, nailed immediately by Jason Goss. And that will be well short of the first down. So the Ticat defense has done the job.
Well, they're blitzing. That puts them in a one-on-one situation. That's exactly what you want as we take a look at the overhead cam. They throw the football, but the thing that has drastically improved on this Ticat defense is their secondary. They are physical. They're not playing soft. They're right in the hip pocket. Look at that. As soon as the ball is caught, we wrap them up, bring them down. Biggest improvement on that team.
Goss has played just 7 games. Arabin Justin 5. Chris Martin 10. So there's 3 new DBs for Greg Marshall. He says a weakness is now a strength. And here we go. This is a bit of a surprise. Noel Prefontaine will try from 48. And he's got plenty of leg, but wide. And now we could get a return. Craig Yeast, big block on O'Shea, and Yeast is out across the 15. Mike O'Shea had Yeast lined up, but then he was unloaded on by Donovan Carter.
Introducing the Ozone Light, the new way to clean the air in your home. And it's as simple as changing your light bulbs. Here's how it works. Simply replace any standard light bulb with the Ozone Light. And our patented titanium dioxide coating destroys odors, smoke, and bacteria like no other air filtration system you've ever seen. If you have allergies, if you have pets, if you have a smoker in the family, yes, even cigar smoke, you need the Ozone Light. And unlike expensive HEPA filters or air ionizers, there are no messy filters to throw away or clean. One 23-watt Ozone Light cleans the air in an average room, lasts up to 6,000 hours, and gives off the same warm color light of a regular 100-watt light bulb without the heat. Put one in every room to clean the air in your entire home. Call now and order one of our TV Home Solution packages. 800-380-4410, 800-380-4410.
These are tough times for the MTA, facing billions in deficits, and they're raising fares again. Now Mayor Bloomberg wants the MTA to hand over valuable waterfront property for a West Side football stadium at an undisclosed price, instead of selling the land to the highest bidder. With higher fares and service cuts, that's not a deal New Yorkers can afford. New York commuters and subway riders should not have to pay the price for a football stadium. Say no to a West Side stadium.
Noel Prefontaine, and there's Greg Marshall in his face about this major foul.
Well, you know, it's one thing to take the kicker. Now he's hurt. He's going out. Now he's all the way out. Now look at this. Let him go. It's over. I mean, it's not the hardest hit you've ever seen, but they're going to call it every time when you still have your hands on him and driving him when you're out of bounds. Smart football. Don't hurt your team. Once again, they have to start in the deep in their own end.
Now we've talked so much about field position. Here they are back at their 8. Troy Davis out to the 12. He gets jarred hard there. Mike O'Shea in the middle of it again.
Whenever these two teams meet to do battle, it is exactly that. It is a physical, hard-hitting game. Take no prisoners. Initially the hole's there, but look at O'Shea come in and fill some support from some of his teammates.
Kenny Wheaton stepped up. 5 for Davis. Radlin comes out. An extra receiver in, and Dondre Gilliam back in the game. On 2nd and 5 as O'Shea parks defensive signals. And it's being aired out. Adrian Smith closest man to the ball, and that looked like a sure interception.
Well, they ran a blitz, and I'm going to tell you, I don't know if Dondre Gilliam is still a little woozy. Because of the blitz, Danny McManus is going down the middle of the football field. He's expecting 84 to come inside. 84 stays to the outside, and the only guy that's got an opportunity to come up with this football is Adrian Smith. You know, you got to talk to him. If you're hurting the team, if you're a little foggy, stay on the sideline a little bit. Because if you know what we're doing, you got to be in the middle of the football field. We can have a big play.
Well, 4 of 7 Hamilton drives have started inside their 10. And again, they have to punt from their end zone. Borum. Livingston back inside his 50. Flag down. And so is Livingston near midfield.
That's a great kick by Jamie Borum from his end zone. And equally good coverage by the punt team to get down and bring down that elusive Livingston.
46-yard punt by Borum. Flag down, which is going to be marked.
Toronto 32.
Against Toronto. Chuck Winters called as Damon Allen brings the offense back out. Damon in his 27th playoff game, and there's where he ranks all time. Over 4,000 yards now. The man he passed for regular season yards, Ron Lancaster, in the building, the only man ahead of him.
Well, that's amazing when you look at that 18-year career. Ronnie Lancaster still a couple thousand yards ahead of him.
Damon has passed for his 30th touchdown in the postseason in this game. Avery, reverse field. Tim Cheatwood says, "You're not going anywhere."
Speed is fantastic, but when you have speed and strength, boy, I tell you, you have a weapon. And this Cheatwood makes the play, but it's all stopped by, again, Joe Montfort. Joe Montfort is not allowing himself to be blocked. That forces, again, Avery to cut back, and the hustle shown by the guy that I really think, Chris, is the defensive player of these Ticats. Tim Cheatwood makes the play.
Out of Ohio State. Another big play by Cheatwood, so it's 2nd and 13. Allen downfield overthrows Arlen Bruce III, and David Allen was punished again as he delivered the football.
Damon Allen knows exactly. He's been in this league long enough to recognize a full-out blitz. They're bringing everybody. As a result, he's got one-on-one downfield. He just sits back there and hucks it a mile, hoping that Tony Miles can run underneath this football.
So a 3rd down.
Miles, Arlen Bruce, they're all going to go deep anytime you see the blitz.
And Hamilton should get its best field position unless Prefontaine comes up with a huge kick. And he does. Over the head of East. All the way back inside the 5. Noel Prefontaine, 70 yards. And the Cats are backed up again.
There's nothing uglier than an old painted surface, and nothing more elegant than a fine wood finish. But paint removers are a nightmare. Dangerous, toxic chemicals that smell and don't work well. Introducing Ready Strip by Back to Nature. It's not only the easiest paint stripper ever, it's odor-free and biodegradable. So safe you can put your hand right in it. Just apply Ready Strip directly out of the container. When it turns white, it comes right off. Ready Strip's advanced formula can remove as many as 7 layers of paint and varnish in one easy application. It works on virtually any surface. Now watch again as Ready Strip restores this old shelf. Your Ready Strip kit includes this free paint scraper, and if you call right now, you'll receive our Uh-Oh Power Cleaner. Just spray it on and the toughest mess wipes right off. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll double the Ready Strip. That's a full 32-ounce container plus the rest of the kit. A $50 value for just $19.99. Call now.
Call 1-800-653-5544. That's 1-800-653-5544. Call now.
Worms and germs can attack your computer.
Something's wrong with your computer and you've tried everything.
Try this.
One quick click. Velos will keep your entire system virus-free, safe, and secure.
With Velos. To make it faster than the day you got it.
Visit velos.com.
And make it quick.
If you even think you're slowing down, get a free virus scan at velos.com and make it fast.
Great game here at Skydome as the Argos lead the Tiger Cats 7-0. With me, the greatest Canadian quarterback in CFL history, Russ Jackson, and he's also the committee chair of the Vanier Cup, at least the honorary. And for the first time ever, the Vanier Cup's going to be held outside of Toronto in Hamilton, week after Grey Cup. And what does that mean, just to have it back in a different city and outside for the first time in 15 years?
Well, I think it's terrific. I've been one that's, I think, has talked about some of these big CIS events, the football, the basketball, should get across this country and that people really see what the student athletes can do in Canadian universities. And the Vanier Cup, November 27th in Hamilton at Avalon Stadium, is going to be a terrific event.
Well, there's going to be certainly, it has been a surge in the popularity of the CFL. Has that translated, do you think, to the university?
Tough to hear what you're saying down here, Brenda.
I said the CFL, there's been a surge in popularity, but has that translated to the university game?
Yeah, it's been terrific, and I think to come to Hamilton with the CFL getting its resurgence in Hamilton and in Toronto, it's going to be a great week of activities, but university football is something very special, and I think the kids see what's going on in the CFL now. They want to play there and have a chance up here.
Thanks, Rob.
Thanks a lot.
DJ Fleck, who's normally sure-handed, drops that as the Ticats went vertical and looked like they had something cooking for the first time.
Well, they went vertical, but it's built off play action pass. That freezes him, the linebacker, just for a second and allowed DJ Fleck to get some separation down the seam, and he's got a step right there. Goes down, tries to pick up that football off the turf. Can't come up with a catch and actually got up limping.
Flick over 1,000 yards on the season, 7th in the CFL. Should have had that. It's 2nd and 10. And McManus looks back for Flick, and it's knocked away by Michael Fletcher. And that one up for grabs. So the Argos have had their chance to add to the interception totals, but have not been able to do it yet.
They're giving him a look to make him think it's man coverage. And he's following Flick down, and then they drop into a zone. They come off that, and as he goes across, he just falls back. Fletcher does, and his drop from the linebacking position almost comes up with a big interception. It's one of those things that Danny figures there'll be a hole. It's not there, and the closest to the ball was Michael Fletcher, number 2 of the Argonauts.
For him for his 8th punt of the game. Arlen Bruce strung out, brought down. Good tackle on the play by Sandy Beveridge to contain Arlen Bruce. Well, this spring, thousands of Canadian hockey hopefuls tried out to make their dreams come true. 68 battling it out for the ultimate goal. One of 6 tryouts with an NHL team making the cut, presented by Bell, Tuesday, 8 o'clock on CBC.
You know, when I sent my my audition tape in, I thought maybe there was an opportunity. I sat by the phone for a while, never rang.
Can't believe the old Manitoba junior star, star. There's Allen, downfield, Tony Miles got loose. The ball didn't arrive.
Well, the Ticats are very fortunate because that ball is overthrown. Chris Martin just slipped on the turf, and Tony Miles was wide open behind him down the sideline. You can see he just turns, and that's just because of a broken coverage. That's what that is. Chris Martin does not realize that is his man, and by the time he realizes it, he falls over. Big break for the Ticats on that overthrown pass to Miles.
So 2nd and 10 at the Toronto 45. Here comes the blitz. Allen downfield overthrows Arlen Bruce.
The The pressure may not be getting to Damon Allen, but it is forcing him to overthrow his intended receivers. That's serving the purpose just as well, because on this play, much like the last play, both receivers were wide open. These are just a simple case of the ball being overthrown as he feels footsteps not only from behind, from the side, and he sees attackers in his face. See John Avery working against Joe Montford, getting helped by the big tackle, John Fugel. You got to put two guys on Big Joe sometimes.
So the Cat pressure that led to a tie in quarterback sacks for the lead in the CFL with Saskatchewan cranked up again tonight. Prefontaine, the game's 13th punt, and another blast. East puts it on the turf. And he is swarmed as he crosses the 15. 53 yards on that kick by Prefontaine, who led the league in punts, and the Argos led in net punts because they've got a great coverage team.
Well, that's exactly it. Their coverage team takes pride in that. Because when you're number one, you don't get your name mentioned. You're one of 11 guys that are down the field covering. But when you got a guy, and you got to remember this, Chris, when you got a guy with the leg strength of Prefontaine, I mean, he's going to kick this ball a mile. Now, these guys got to be disciplined, stay in their lanes. Look at them staying in their lanes. That's Williams, number 11, heading up to the football. It's Zeki, Srochenski, Marius, who led the CFL special teams tackles. They're all there.
From the 17, the quick hitter, Morreale, the possession man in this Hamilton offense, the former Argo and a top Canadian in the CFL, Mike Morreale, with a catch at the 23. 7 for the Cats on first down.
Good first down production, getting that ball quickly out. Now, I'm going to tell you, from watching this defense so far, Chris, I see a very aggressive Argonaut defense who might bite on a pump and fake, or a pump and go, if you like to call it that.
Approaching the 3-minute warning. 2nd and 3. They'll get the first down. Tunkara in for Dondre Gilliam. Up to the 38-yard line. 14 for Tunkara. As the Cats still looking for their first points of the first half.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a sit rep from Alpha Company. PT, ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learn, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
The power of a locomotive and the subtlety of a runaway freight train. 8 heavyweights, 4 bouts, 2 championship belts on the line, all in one night. Live at Madison Square Garden, Saturday, November 13th. For tickets, call Ticketmaster or visit the Garden box office.
.250 to go in the first half, and then Sean Millington, Greg Frères, Darren Flutie, and Brian Williams will take over and weigh in on this first half of play. And the history of excellence will feature Bill Simons, the great Argo running back. Noisy Skydome, a defensive battle, as you can tell from that line. And there may be concern in the Hamilton camp about their depth at receiver, with Dondre Gilliam on the sidelines after that huge hit. And we've yet to hear from Archie Amerson. So dangerous a threat for 14 games, but coming off knee surgery, is he healthy? We might find out here. Archie Amerson with a burst. And on cue to the Argo 50.
Well, you know what? You are the master. I mean, you called it exactly. We're up here wondering where number 9 is going to start contributing, or really is he healthy right now? We know he has some left knee troubles. He ran hard in practice, said, I'm ready to go, but really hasn't been utilized much in this opening half, but gets a little reverse, gets to the outside, puts a little burst on, and that's their biggest play of the game.
14 games, 894 yards receiving, so he would have been a 1,000-yard man with a full campaign. Davis strung out. Bonner looks for him, and he's finished off by the backside pressure of Jonathan Brown. And they have swarmed Troy Davis tonight.
Well, it doesn't matter where they've tried to attack with number 32. The double blue of the Argonauts have met the challenge, whether it be inside or the outside. They've limited the gains of the CFL's leading rusher, making yardage tough to come by for Troy Davis.
7 carries, 27 yards on the night. Loss of 1, 2nd and 11. 4 receivers wide side. McManus underneath, picked off. Kevin Ivan, the top defensive player, the outstanding Canadian, has the interception as McManus threw it up for grabs.
Danny Mack is a great football player, but not here. This is a very, very poor decision. He's going to sit back there. They bring the blitz, Fletcher from the outside. Jonathan Brown, Noah Cantor get a little pressure. As he's going back, he decides, I'm going to try and put it to a certain area anyway. Craig Yeast is nowhere near there. The only guy that's close to that football is Kevin Ivan. Poor decision. I mean, you need your leader, your guy back there, the quarterback, to make proper decisions. That's just a bad decision by Danny McManus.
In the 2 wins by Toronto over Hamilton, 10 takeaways by the Argos, and they get a big one here. Andre Talbot, who scored his first touchdown against Hamilton on Labor Day. And there is Kevin Ivan at 215 pounds, a defensive demon.
Oh, it's hard to believe because you look at him, he's so 215, he's a little pencil neck. He's not big, but you know what? He's got instinct, boy. I tell you, when he's on the football field, a lot of his tackles, he is hustling. His motor never stops.
Former high school quarterback who says he can read these offenses in a flash. Flags down as Miles stretched out for the first down. He'll be close, but let's sort out these penalties.
Well, defense once again has to come up big for the Ticats as they're going to call offside on the Argonauts. Obviously, one of the receivers has left a little early before the snap of the football. But Kevin Ivan with his interception.
Offside. Toronto 18. 2nd down repeated.
Well, Soward offside, but Kevin Ivan, he's just at the top right there. He's just going to jump off. That's the 9th interception of the Argos on Hamilton Ticat quarterbacks this season.
R.J. Soward offside, so it's 2nd down over. And 11. And Allen, incomplete. Behind Andre Talbot. And the passing yardage minuscule in this first half. McManus was 61, Allen was 64.
Well, and the thing that's interesting, this is a 3-man rush. This is 3 defensive linemen against 5 offensive linemen, and they're getting pressure on Damon Allen, forcing him to throw that football earlier than he wants. On the other side of the coin, we're seeing the Argos going against a good Ticat O-line, and they're getting pressure with 4. I don't know what's happening to the O-lines today, but they're not going to be watching films tomorrow with a lot of smiles so far.
Rare harsh criticism from this booth for the Buffet boys. And with 91 seconds to go in the half, the Ticats are going to get the football with a chance to get on even terms. Jason Goss, Randy Straczynski, a sure tackle at the 21. Another big Prefontaine punt to 53 yards. Now, Danny Mack has been starting from a deficit position throughout this first half.
And a lot of times it's not his fault. They've taken bad penalties that have pushed them back into the shadow of their own goalpost. But you take a look at that. I mean, that's not something you want to see as an offensive coordinator. And I'm sure Jamie Barisi is going to have a nice talk with this offense at halftime. Punting every time except for the last one they had an interception.
And look at the starting position, the 35-yard line, their best.
Yeah, this should be interception here.
There is Jamie Barisi. Worked at Central Florida, Penn State. Joked earlier this year when they weren't running the ball that Joe Paterno would like his offense. He would with Troy Davis now. And Davis across the 25-yard line. But it was a wide open vertical attack for the first 4 or 5 games. After they got shut down by the Argos early in the season, they decided to develop the running game around Davis. And going into this game, you thought they had a pretty balanced attack, but nothing seemed to be working.
You have to have a balanced attack. You cannot live off the big play. I mean, it's a hit-and-miss situation. Yeah, you may get a couple during the game, but what about the other 65 plays you're going to run?
Gilliam back in. Davis on second down, and he won't get back to the line of scrimmage.
This Argo defense is fired up. They are getting penetration at the point of attack. You know what? I've seen these guys play the Argonauts defense, and they've made tackles 10 yards deep. Was the first time they contacted the ball carrier. Today, they are in the backfield. They are playing this football game in the backfield of the Ticats. Look at the penetration. That's exactly what you want. Ivan again, the man, number 35, the human dart, underneath the blocker, making the play.
3 games this year, Ivan with 20 tackles against the Ticats. And Ivan called timeout. And the Argos now are going to be set up with just under a minute to play to enhance this first half lead. As again, Borum into punt. And Livingston back. Jamie Borum does a great job. Huge kick there. And let's see if they can contain Livingston. Yes. Out at the 24. And that's a 61-yard punt. Good defense and good kicking games right now.
And you know what? You gotta love this story. They talked about Jamie Borum and they said, you know, you're going to be kicking against the legend. Noel Prefontaine, known for the strong leg.
The Wallaby Warrior.
Yeah, Wallaby Warrior. He does it all. I mean, downfield making tackles. And he says, you know what? He says, I want to just go out there and hopefully I can play as well as he can. I feel that I'm a strong kicker. I'm very confident in my own ability. Well, he's matched him. I mean, and a lot more pressure, Chris, because he's been kicking from his own end zone or pretty close to it on a lot of plays.
Now, 45 seconds to go here in the first half. And does that kick change the approach of the Argos on this final first half drive? Allen's going to throw, pumps, doesn't change at all, going deep. Talbot's got it. Andre Talbot, the Wilfrid Laurier product, beating Arab and Justin.
Arab and Justin bit on the pump fake. I've been talking a lot about that from the other side of the ball with the Ticats. Damon Allen, wonderful example of getting the corner to bite on the out route. And then Talbot just keeps going downfield. Sheetwood, very fortunate not to get a late hit on that after he brushes by Damon Allen. But you know what? If you want to win this football, Chris, I think you have to play aggressive. It's exactly what they did.
37 yards. Down to the Hamilton 48. Getting close to Prefontaine range. Allen, Miles. Tony Miles. Another first down at the 37.
And you saw the kick. Great kick by Borum, pinning the Argos deep. The last thing you want to have done, because everybody on the Ticat sideline, the teams are saying, you know, at least we got one thing going good, our defense. Now, the worst thing that can happen is for the Argos to go downfield and push a score in on the Ticat defense. You see that Adriano Belli is down, and this is probably a timeout that's a little bit orchestrated so they can, one, get a breath, it's hot in here, and two, make sure they're all on the same page on their defensive signals. We do know that he does have a calf injury, Chris.
Yeah, we were joking with Mike Campbell, former Ticat and Argo, before the game. He did this periodically in the 99 Grey Cup. After the game, I apologized, speculating he was just trying to take a timeout when he sold me. I thought he was hurt. And after the game, when I apologized, he said, no, I was just trying to get timeouts. Don't worry about it. And so you wonder here, we do know Belly has the cap problem. But we also know that in a lot of passing situations, he comes out, Hitchcock goes in, and they might just try to be getting that defense set.
Well, I think it's a smart play, especially since the momentum is definitely with the Argo offense right now.
.32 seconds remaining in the first half as Allen waits for time to be whistled in. First down, Toronto. Allen lots of time. Almost picked by Augie Baranchia. The kid from Calgary got his mitts on it. Couldn't bring it in.
Well, Baranchia, great recognition of reading the quarterback's eyes. That's all it says. Hey, Allen's sitting back. He knows where he wants to go with the football. 39 just follows the eyesight. The pattern, exactly where he's looking, gets there, and he needs to scoop up that football to kill the drive, but a nice play nonetheless by 39.
Heck, he scoops that football up. We might be tied. 2nd and 10. Allen looked one way, now the other. And underthrows Miles, who was open momentarily over the middle.
Tony Miles did his part of running around, readjusting the route, trying to find something after the quarterback was flushed. Found a little hole in the coverage, but Damon Allen could not find him. Gonna sit, try a little pump fake over to the right side again, comes back away from the pressure, throws the ball kind of half slingshot sidearm, but away from the intended receiver.
So Prefontaine, we were surprised when he tried from 48. Mike Clemens said with the injury that he wouldn't test him too deep. Also out of respect for Yeast, who could return them, and did a week ago. This from 43. And Prefontaine is good. And the Argos expand their lead to 10.
Well, you know, we've heard all along about the oblique muscle pull by Noel Prefontaine, the fact that he doesn't know how far he can kick from. All I've seen so far is a masterful job punting the football and good strength on his attempted field goals. He missed the first one. This one, he's got a lot of leg on it. Goes through, and they got a 10-0 lead, and I tell you, it's been all Argos.
What Prefontaine did say yesterday is that I'm not kicking it as far, but I haven't had the adrenaline rush of a game yet. And the adrenaline levels look like they're pretty high down there. So the Ticats will just kill these final 9 seconds and regroup at halftime. They have been shut down so far tonight.
Well, they have got to get their game plan going, their offense going, because their defense has done a good job holding the Argos to only 10 points.
And so ends the opening 30 minutes of football. And in typical Hamilton-Toronto style, it was a black and blue first half. And the Double Blue have the lead as we join Brenda.
Well, Mike Clemens' team leads by 10 at the half, and your defense sure played like a house on fire. What was the key to their success against Danny Mac?
Well, I think the key is the preparation that they put in during the week. They worked so hard. They came in Saturday on a voluntary meeting, a players' call meeting, and began to watch film, and they're just such a dedicated group.
What's your message to them at the half?
Well, we left some points on the field. We had great field position the whole first half. I think it's important for us to establish field position with the first kickoff return of the second half. Get points early. We need to get the first points of the second half.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Mike Clemens and his team ahead here at Skydome after one half of play. It's Toronto leading Hamilton 10-0 in this Eastern semifinal matchup.
A short time ago, this woman was limited by her mobility.
A month ago, this man wasn't even able to get around his house. These are people who chose mobility, and they chose the scooter store. If you're living with limited mobility, call the scooter store today. I guarantee no other company will work harder to make you mobile. If we pre-qualify you for a new scooter or power chair, and Medicare denies your claim, the scooter store allows you to keep your scooter or power chair at no cost. That's the scooter store guarantee.
I expected they'd help me file some paperwork with Medicare and my insurance. I never expected them to be so nice or to work so hard to get me a power chair at no cost to me.
You don't qualify for Medicare? No problem. We'll work with your insurance company, even help with financing. If there's a way, we'll find it.
Call the scooter store for free information today.
Call 1-800-203-7474 for free information. That number again is 1-800-203-7474.
Join me and Deb Kaufman for Sports Desk, presented by Toyota after tonight's CFL game. Deb chats with radio analyst Dave Jennings, and we'll also have the story of the Nets and Bulls, as well as the latest from Wally Backman after the game.
Saturday on MSG, it's time to rock the Garden. Check out Stephon Marbury, Jamal Crawford, and the rest of the Knicks as they tip off the home opener against Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics. The Knicks and the Celtics, Saturday night, only on MSG Network.
People in New York, they have an unbelievable passion for the game. They really love the Knicks. And our goal is to give the fans their team back. Picture the Garden on a cold winter night with steam coming off the building. That's how hot we want to make it. It's all about the love for the game, what it means to have New York across your chest. It's more to me than just putting the ball in a hole. It's a way of life.
And a look at downtown Toronto as we approach 9 o'clock Eastern Time on this Friday night. Primetime coverage of the Eastern semifinal, and the Argonauts lead it by 10. If you are just joining us with Sean Millington, Greg Frères, Darren Flutie, I'm Brian Williams. Let's talk about that first half. And Sean, I don't really say it's a lack of discipline or just dumb, stupid penalties hurt the Ticats early.
Well, they've had problems with this all year, and it's something that Greg Marshall has tried to address, but obviously unsuccessfully. We have Bailey taking bad penalties. We also have Spencer taking a bad hit on Arlen Bruce. I mean, what is he thinking here? The guy is set up, he's got him downfield, all you need to do is go in and make the tackle, and it's over. Adriano Belli as well decides that he's going to go in and take the selfish hit. I know you want to try and intimidate the returner, but that's not the way to get it done. You got to do it between the whistles and legally.
Now, one of those dumb penalties, the Spencer hit on Arlen Bruce, and there's the hit on Prefontaine out of bounds. That Spencer hit on Bruce set up the Toronto touchdown.
Yeah, the Toronto touchdown was set up. They got the ball on the 26-yard line. It only took them 3 plays to get into the end zone. Arlen Bruce makes a great catch to get the first down, and then there's this semi-controversial touchdown. He may have pushed off, may have not. Hey, give him the touchdown. Half my catches were doing the exact same thing. But for the most part of the first half, those were the only points on the scoreboard.
Millington called kickers wimps for the most part. Frères is calling the receivers wimps. He says,
never. I would never say that.
Now, you've been impressed with Noel Prefontaine, the field position, and the special teams.
Absolutely. Going into this game, I said the key was the health of kicker Noel Prefontaine. And what we've seen on his first kick, he booms it for 52 yards. His punting average in the first half is well over 50 yards. And so the health, the question mark around that is definitely answered. Going in field position battle is being won by Toronto. Hamilton, this is Darren's math, but I know he went to Boston College. His math says that Hamilton on every drive has started on average on the 17-yard line. And so Hamilton is putting themselves way back, having to work with a long field. That's going to help Toronto.
All right, very quickly, let's deal with some points. Rich Stubler's defensive adjustments, the Toronto defensive coordinator.
A fantastic job. They go the whole season. They're last in defense against the rush in the Canadian Football League, but they change around. They switch the gaps. Their D linemen are going to play in. They back their linebackers up. They read the run and then support it. They've shut down Troy Davis in the first half, and that has kept the Ticats from moving the football.
Sean, you said to me late in the half that Damon Allen's been taking a tremendous beating.
Oh, it's been unbelievable, Brian. He's just it seems every single play we're seeing Damon Allen pancaked on his back, and I think that's really rattling him right now. You've seen him do a bunch of throws long where he's had wide open receivers. He's not setting his feet because he knows that he's going to get hit, and as a result, he's missing passes.
You got to take your hat off to Damon because he's been taking hit after hit, but you saw that last drive going into the halftime is that he was making some completions, staying in there, he's staying composed. Wiley Vett.
Couple of seconds. What's with Amerson?
Well, Amerson came into the game banged up, and I saw after the first ball that went to him, I saw him favoring knee. That could really hurt. But I'll tell you what, as poorly as the Cats have played, as well as the Argos have played, it's 10-0. It's still a ball game.
Well, we'll take a break. Halftime here in Toronto, where the Toronto Argonauts in this Eastern semifinal lead the Hamilton Ticats by a score of 10-0.
Important notice if you were born between 1919 and 1959. Find out how you can protect your loved ones with the Platinum Care Plan. The Platinum Care Plan makes it easy to plan ahead. Did you know the average funeral now costs over $6,000, and many can cost up to $10,000 or more? And your survivors may only be able to receive government death benefits up to $300 if they qualify, leaving your loved ones to pay the balance. The Platinum Care Plan helps your loved ones. It will help with funeral and any other expenses. You must be age 45 to 85 to qualify. No physical examination is necessary, and coverage starts as soon as you're accepted. You'll have lifetime coverage, and by starting now, you can lock in the lowest rate possible. With the Platinum Care Plan, your rates will never increase, your benefits will never decrease, and your plan cannot be canceled. So why not make the call today and find out if you qualify? You also get a free planning guide to help carry out your wishes, so everything is done just as you want them to be. The Platinum Care Plan pays cash to your family when they need it most. The Platinum Care Plan is something we all have to think about. It's something we'll all someday need. To get free information about the Platinum Care Plan and its benefits, call 1-800-694-9966. You have absolutely no obligation. The information is free, and so is the phone call. Operators are waiting for your call. Don't put it off. Call now. To get free information about the Platinum Care Plan, call 1-800-694-9966. That's 1-800-694-9966.
High school sports in the tri-state area are a big deal. Nearly 40,000 kids play varsity football, and MaxPreps.com covers them all. Every team, every game, and every player. With schedules, scores, standings, and tons of stats, plus you get instant action photos and video highlights. MaxPreps.com makes it easy to scout matchups and track your favorite players. Hey, I wish MaxPreps.com was around when I was playing high school ball. MaxPreps.com, the source for high school sports.
History of Excellence, brought to you by Nissan.
He was simply one of the best backs to ever play in this city. Bill Simons is an Argonaut legend. Out of the University of Colorado, he played 7 seasons with the Boatmen, turning around a team that had not made the playoffs in 5 years. The 1968 Most Outstanding Player still holds the record for the longest rush from scrimmage in playoff history, 100 yards against Hamilton. He's a Colorado Buffalo that made his home and future in Southern Ontario. And just a reminder, 68 players battle it out for the ultimate goal, one of only 6 tryouts with a Canadian NHL team. That is if and when they come back from the lockout. A long road to NHL glory, making the cut, presented by Bell this Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, 8:30 in Newfoundland here on CBC. And 3 of the players there, Darrell Levy, Anthony Marshall, and Troy Kaler, here in attendance tonight at Skydome. Part of this crowd of just under 40,000, the Argonauts with a 10-point lead at halftime. We'll take a break. Chris Cuthbert and Chris Walby with a play-by-play of the second half. You're watching the Eastern semifinal, the CFL on CBC.
She has a secret. He has a secret. They all have a secret. Now we're blowing the lid off the best body-shaping, calorie-burning secret weapon in America with the million-selling Gazelle. And this once-in-a-lifetime special offer. You can burn total body calories, tone total body muscle with virtually no impact. Last year, Tony Little made TV history by offering the Gazelle's $14.95 30-day test drive. Call now and for just $14.95, test drive the Gazelle in your own home, not for 30 days, but for a full 60 days. But wait, this deal just got even better. Take advantage of this TV offer and shipping is free. Save almost $35 and get the Gazelle risk-free in your home for a full 60 days. Call now and your Elite will come with this Power Pistons Resistance Package that adjusts easily for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Over 1 million happy customers can't be wrong. Once you try the Gazelle, you'll be just as crazy about it as they are. Don't miss out. Discover the secret to getting in shape with the Gazelle Elite. Call and get yours right now.
Come see Verizon Business DSL. Open a new world for your business. It's a world where more power keeps you working with information instead of waiting for it. Where email gives your business the professional look it deserves. Where you can stay connected to your business from beyond the walls of your business. And where savings can really add up. Sign up today for a special rebate and more. Just call 1-800-947-9DSL. And no matter what you need or how you grow, our expert support will be there. Just call 1-800-947-9DSL and go beyond the boundaries of ordinary broadband to a whole new world with Verizon Business DSL. Verizon.
Welcome back to Sky Dome as we get set for the second half of the Eastern semifinal between the Hamilton Tiger Cats, Toronto Argos. There's the score. Danny McManus has told us
pulled him into a couple coverages where they looked like they were playing man, and then he dropped into a zone and he threw out, he could throw to a certain area, and they were there, and he got one intercepted on a bad throw by him, a bad decision when he threw the ball to no one except for Kevin Ivan of the Argos. But it's a situation where Danny Mac has really got to get back there, and hopefully Barisi has given him a better game plan for the second half.
Let's check the first half numbers.
Well, obviously, if you look at the first downs, you wouldn't think much of it. It's a defensive game so far. One turnover apiece. The punts, huge punts. And I tell you what, look at this number here. Prefontaine, what a leg. But this guy right here, why 43 is important? Because every time he's punted the ball, Chris, he's been in the shadow of his own goalpost. He's saved his team. The special team covers of the Ticats and the defense have really saved the Ticats in that first half. This score could be a lot worse.
Let's check in with Brenda Irving.
Greg Marshall's team's down by 10, and you had a lot of penalties in the first half of play. What did you tell your team at the half about that?
Well, I said, we did a good job of settling down in the second part of the half. We didn't take near as many penalties, and that's what we have to do. We can't give them opportunities.
What did Danny McManus have to do differently against this tough Toronto defense?
Doing a good job. I think we have to take kind of some underneath routes early. We're forcing a little bit. We got to establish our running game, and we got to be patient on offense.
Good luck in the second.
Thank you.
So essentially, the game plan for Greg Marshall, at least publicly, isn't that much different than when they started the night.
Well, Troy Davis only carried the ball 9 times. This is only a 10-0 game. He only has 32 yards to his credit. But I still think when he got a guy of his breakaway talent, a guy that can really change the game, you can't get away from the original game plan. I agree with Coach Marshall. You got to get number 32 involved in your offense.
Short kick. Chuck Winters fields it at the 30. And Winters up to the 40-yard line. And again, not surprised that the kicks might be shorter tonight after The Ticats were burned by some kickoff returns 2 weeks ago. Let's check the passing chart for Damon Allen.
Well, I mean, if you take 8 for 17, and here's a misleading number, 112 yards, because you had the big one right here, right before the end of the half, 37 yards to Talbot that led to a field goal. Other than that, these quarterbacks both have not had really superior first halves.
In 8 of 11 games this year that Allen played, he was over 60%, so it's surprising to see him under 50% completion in the first half. Throws a strike here, and Andre Talbot has been a productive receiver so far tonight. And a Ticat down on the far side.
Well, let's talk about the fact that Talbot is basically their leading receiver this afternoon. He had 3 catches in the first half. That's his 4th one of the game. Well, a broken coverage. Look where the cornerback is sitting. I mean, you cannot be. Justin's playing way too far back. There's nobody in the flat.
Look at the Oshawa native, who had a breakout game early in the year against Hamilton. John Avery plunging over the 50-yard line and has 2 or 3. Renard Cox took a knee on that last play but got up and back in. He seemed to be nicked early in the first half as well, but remains in the game at linebacker for the Ticats.
Well, he is their leading tackler on this team. I mean, he gets the job done. He's played a lot of positions. He's played the halfback position, moved up to the linebacker because he's got good speed and he's a sure-handed tackler.
2nd and 8. Here comes the rush. Allen backpedaling underneath Bruce, and Donovan Carter with the tackle nearly knocked the ball loose. And it'll be 3rd down.
Well, it's a 3rd down situation, but great hustle by Donovan Carter. First off, I mean, obviously Damon Allen finds some extra time by avoiding the rush to complete the pass. Penetration up the middle. Johnny Scott's up there. He doesn't get blocked. He just slips, loses his footing as the O-lineman does a smart thing, pushing him down. Allen delivers the ball to Arlen Bruce, who tries to spin, but good hustle by Carter to rip him down.
3rd down at the 45. The Argos not going to try a 52-yard field goal. And Prefontaine into punt. The East awaiting. Prefontaine angling another punt. We've got a flag down, and Prefontaine has been hurt as Yeast is down by Marius at the 14-yard line.
We saw Adriano Belli with a penalty on Noel Prefontaine when he was blocking him on a return on a missed field goal early in the first quarter, taking Prefontaine out, drawing a roughing penalty. Now look it's over. It's over. You know, I got to tell you, Wayne Shaw, you can avoid that. Now it's not harmless now, but the referee says if you make any contact, look, he actually puts the shoulder up there. Now I don't care what you say. It doesn't look like much, but they know that he's got a problem. He's hurt. So he tries to give him a little shot. But once again, it's a penalty that starts off giving the Argonauts excellent field position.
They were chirping at Prefontaine from the Hamilton bench, and Prefontaine gestured and will take the penalty, and the Argos will take the first down. R.J. Sauer, first catch, and a first down. And we've got more flags.
Damon Allen is really stretching this field horizontally from sideline to sideline. And the Ticat defenders, who really played physical in the first half, are sitting off right now soft. And that's allowing him to get rid of the ball quickly, but they're going to tack on additional yardage for a roughing the passer, I believe, or a late hit on Damon Allen after he delivers this football. And again, it's another big penalty. Not a small 5-yarder. When you start talking 10 to 15 yards and they keep adding up, you're giving the Argonauts instant field position, and you're saying to them, you know what, you can't score from 50, so why don't we bring you down to the 20-yard line?
This time they say that Belli took Folk into Allen intentionally.
But that's not a penalty. If you throw a guy at a quarterback, that's not a penalty.
So we won't put that in the lack of discipline column. Allen slides feet first, and there is a flag away from the play.
You know, I'm still upset. I can't believe that. When you get good pressure on the center, Folk, and you pick him up and you throw him at the quarterback and knock the quarterback over, how is that a roughing the quarterback? You should give your own center the penalty.
Illegal formation. Toronto, no end. First down repeated.
So procedure penalty against the Argonauts, and it will be 1st and 15. I guess more accurately an alignment penalty, not a procedure call.
An alignment penalty, and again, it's a situation where the defense has to come up big.
You heard Pinball Clemens say it was key to score the first points here in the second half. Threatening to do so. Talbot's 5th catch of the game. Inside the 10-yard line. 6 on that first down pickup. And it will be 2nd and 8 to 9 for the Argos.
What you like about playoff games is you don't know who the hero's going to be. Number 4, Andre Talbot, is quickly grabbing the reins of the hero as he comes inside. Little slant pattern. 5th catch of the afternoon.
Yeah, you think about Arlen Bruce and Tony Miles. Andre Talbot's a little down that depth chart. Allen to Miles, incomplete. And Damon punished again.
Well, Damon is on his back as he's looked and he's checked all the seams in the roof of the dome. See if there's any leaks up there. He spent a lot of the afternoon looking up at the ceiling after he delivers that football. That's a nice job of Tony Miles actually knocking the ball away from Goss. This could have been an interception that Devontae Peterson with, could be a late hit.
Not many 41-year-old grandfathers earn their living doing what Damon Allen's doing. Prefontaine in for this short field goal attempt. High snap. But they get it down and through. Argos score first in the second half. And now it's a 13-point lead.
There's a stretch of sparkling white sand that runs for 23 miles along Florida's east coast. Some call it relaxing. Some a playground. Some call it Daytona Beach. But most simply call it fun. Call toll-free now for a free Daytona Beach visitor guide and superior small lodging brochure filled with affordable vacation ideas. The water's warm. The natives are friendly. All you have to do is make...
When IBF champ Chris Bird enters the ring to fight challenger Jameel McCline, he'll be facing more than a 6'6", 260-pound powerhouse. Chris Bird will be fighting his best friend. There won't be any hesitation, no love lost. Friendship is one thing, but with the IBF title on the line, this is war. It's an unforgettable night of heavyweights with 4 power-punching bouts. Saturday, November 13th, live at Madison Square Garden. For tickets, call Ticketmaster or visit the Garden box office.
Reminder to log on to our website in the second half to cast your vote for Warrior of the Game. You decide who showed the true character of a football warrior, and yes, this show includes kickers. If Noel Prefontaine is the kicker in question, Tim Cheatwood, Mike O'Shea, a lot of candidates on the defensive side as Hamilton goes to work on offense with DJ Flick up close to the 45-yard line. Remember, this Hamilton offense, 3rd in yards produced during the season, behind only BC and Montreal.
But I think the situation is such that what Coach Greg Marshall said is so true. Danny McManus has got to take what the defense gives them. Don't try and force a situation. They want to sit in a zone and give it the underneath stuff. Hey, take it at 6 yards a crack and just move the chains as long as you end up putting points on the board.
Maybe a free down here, 2nd and about a foot. They'll just plunge with Davis. Hit the first. and regroup. If it was a little closer and wide open, we might have seen McManus throw in that situation.
It's a scenario that probably still could as we take a look at the receiving crew of the Ticats this year. And we talked about Montreal's outstanding foursome, and obviously you look at these numbers with Morreale and Amerson.
I thought it was important to do this because nobody talks about this group. Amerson missed 4 games, otherwise he's the third man, and Morreale's in the neighborhood. This is a solid receiving core. And there's Dondre Gilliam with the rough first half, but has a first down here as the cobwebs have cleared for another weapon that Danny McManus has at his disposal. Here's how McManus has spread it around, limited in the first half.
Well, only 61 yards. Basically, when you're looking at that kind of thing, you have to give credit to the Argo defense. They've taken away all the big play potential down, and that's where he loves to go. But even the underneath stuff, 6 yards.
14 for Gilliam there. First down, quick hitter. Far side, flick, another first down, and suddenly the Cat offense is purring.
And you talked about that board we just looked at with the 4 receivers. And we talk about Montreal's receivers. Remember, those guys have been together a number of years. They understand the system. This is a team that was 1-17 last year. They brought in new receivers, and I think that even, makes more of a comment, more of a statement for what they've done.
So Jamie Barise, the offensive coordinator for Greg Marshall, has made some first halftime adjustments, and it's starting to open things up for Troy Davis to the 31-yard line.
And this is all Troy Davis because it is intended to go between the tackles. But the Argos, again, really messing with the offensive line as far as their gap responsibilities and causing a little confusion there. They're getting penetration, and as a result, there's nothing inside. He's got to do the rest on his own. That means he's got to bounce outside and pick up something positive, which he does.
Hamilton lost 5 in a row after winning the first 3, and then they say Troy Davis put the team on his back. Let's see if he can do that in the second half. McManus underneath, another first down. Oh wait, no, incomplete. Yeast could not hang on, and now a flag comes down. And Yeast.
I got to tell you, Chris, we talked about this. This is totally, it's a lack of discipline on the part of Craig Yeast. You know what? You're not the only player out there. You're hurting your teammates. Not only do you not secure the catch, what would have moved the chains, you get up and push the defender. You take an objectionable conduct penalty
and take yourself out of field goal range.
It's stupid. Let's just color it like it is right there. You can't do that. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You start moving the football, and then you get up and you're disgusted. Well, you should be disgusted at yourself. So if you want to hit somebody, go to the sideline, take your helmet off, and give yourself a shot in the head. But don't hit the defender, because now, as you say, you're out of field goal range.
Well, let's put it this way. They're going to test Jamie Borum's range. It was 49, the longest during the regular season. They're going to try a 48-yarder here, but Greg Marshall didn't want to do this.
Well, look who's returning.
Exactly.
This guy has hurt them in the past. 5 returned kicks this year for Livingston.
So the pressure on the rookie place kicker. For the first Cat points of the game, off the upright, dead ball. And the only consolation is there was no Livingston return. Borum gave it a ride, but it's still 13-0.
Totally Football is your inside source for all pro and college gridiron news.
The hardest hitting football show in the biz.
Patrick O'Neill and our insider Jay Glazer break all the stories before anyone else.
When I first broke it, people were telling me, yes, this is going to cause such a heated debate.
We'll take you inside the huddle and behind the scenes for all the pigskin action. Totally Football, weeknights on FSN.
A year ago, Sarah was diagnosed with hepatitis C. Feeling scared and alone, she turned to the American Liver Foundation for information and support. Tonight, she's going to see her favorite band perform. Join Sarah at Liver Rock at the Downtown in Farmingdale. For information, call 212-943-1059 or log on to liverfoundation.org/greaterny. Together, we can make a difference.
Join me and Deb Kaufman for Sports Desk, presented by Toyota after tonight's CFL game. Deb chats with radio analyst Dave Jennings, and we'll also have the story of the Nets and Bulls, as well as the latest on Wally Backman after the game.
Saturday on MSG, it's time to rock the Garden. Check out Stephon Marbury, Jamal Crawford, and the rest of the Knicks as they tip off the home opener against Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics. The Knicks and the Celtics, Saturday night, only on MSG Network.
Borum had plenty of leg.
Well, they were questioning about it. 48 yards. He's got the distance. He played in the Vanier Cup here in 2001 with the University of Manitoba Bisons. They lost to the St. Mary's team, but look at the fans. They can't believe it. Having a good time in the stands.
It can get tough in those trenches, too. Allen swings it back. John Avery smothered by Joe Montfort. And Jolton Joe has another big defensive play and a loss of 5 or 6 yards, maybe even more, as they spotted at the 20.
Well, Joe Montfort is a player who has just gotten stronger. This is a guy that, I mean, you're going against one of the more elusive backs in the league. Just wraps him up, engulfs him, if you would, and takes him down for a loss.
Marked at the 20, so it is a loss of 5. 2nd and 15. Here's the blitz. Allen gets it away, and this one picked off. Arabin Justin, the rookie's got it, and he's back into Argo territory. Tony Miles with the tackle, but a big turnover for the Ticats.
Big turnover. Again, the pressure forcing Damon Allen. We saw it in the first half. Pressure as good as a sack. When you get results like this, Sheetwood off the side. He knows it's coming. I got to put the ball up. I put the ball up again. Too far for the intended receiver. Arabin Justice, who bit early in the second quarter and got beat by Talbot, makes a bit of an amendment, a bit of atonement for that. Brings it back in the middle of the football field, and for once the Ticats have got good starting field position.
3rd CFL interception in 6 games for Justin. And the Ticats go back to work offensively. Davis underneath with O'Shea right there. They tried to use Davis as a receiver a couple of weeks ago here at Sky Dome. He caught 7, but marginal yardage at 27 yards.
Hey, listen, if you were running an offense and you've got a guy and he's not getting the yardage on the ground, I'm telling you, you better get the ball to him other ways. If that means you got to run hitch patterns, that means you got to run screens, you got to do whatever it takes, because this guy can break tackles.
Davis with 3 there, 2nd and 7. Quick hitter, up in the air. Flick comes up with it, off the fingertips of Jonathan Brown. And although it's a completion, it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, that's the second pass that's been deflected during the football game. Michael O'Shea got one earlier in the football game. Great athletic ability of Jonathan Brown, who was cut once on the ground, gets up, stays with the play, gets a hand up. DJ Flick with a good play to catch it. Otherwise, I tell you, you might have had an Argonaut going the other way.
Well, this time, Greg Marshall opting not to attempt a field goal. It would be from 51 yards out. We saw that Borum had the leg, but this time they'll play it conservative, try and back the Argos in their own zone.
Well, you got no points. Now you got to hope you can cover it.
Angled punt, Livingston. And again, the coverage has been solid, led by veteran Rob Hitchcock tonight. Well, the marquee guys on the crew will be heading west, including my partner, for what I think is going to be a really interesting game at Commonwealth. Mike Pringle and the Eskimos, the Saskatchewan Rough Riders, who thought they were going to have the home game in the West Semi.
I've been doing some contortionist exercises so I can get into my seat for the trip. 4 hours. You think there's some freak shows on TV? Come watch this flight.
You always look so comfortable in that middle seat.
I make a lot of friends, I'm telling you that right now.
So the Argos start inside their 20, and they give it to number 20. Barachia brings him down, and there's a penalty marker on the field.
Well, this will probably go against the Argonauts, Avery. A little look at disgust, can't believe it. But again, the Ticat defense doing its part, forcing this Argo offense backwards instead of forwards.
65. First down, repeat.
And Sandy Annunziata with the hold, the right guard.
You know, it doesn't show on the scoreboard, but you feel momentum changing in the second half.
Well, it's changing, but the offense of the Ticats still has got to take advantage of the situations. They got great field position on the Justin interception. They can't capitalize.
And now the Ticat defense has to say, we can't allow a first down here.
That's right. Because if they can force the punt, they'll get the ball back in good field position.
Inside the 10, first and 20. And an incompletion intended for Robert Baker. Damon Allen with the interception on the last series, just his 5th interception of the year. As they have said about Allen many times, he manages a good game.
He manages a good game, but so far, what I've seen, even though he got a 10-0 lead, or 13-0 with that last field goal, is the fact that he has overthrown a number of open receivers. So there's some positives from a receiver's perspective if you're looking at the offense and you break it down, but from a quarterback, you'd like it to be a little sharper.
He has been under siege, this high-pressure Ticat defense coming again. Allen over the middle, and a one-hopper incomplete intended for Arlen Bruce. And the Ticat defense holds, and they should enjoy great field position. Though we don't want to get ahead of ourselves in that department, considering the way Paul Prefontaine kicks the ball.
Number 1 for the Argos has just been booming punts, but it's, again, a 3-man rush. Montford's going to take the inside, loop Johnny Scott to the outside. 3 guys, along with their fellow defender, Tim Cheatwood. And the pressure forces Allen to skip a pass to the intended receiver.
Does Mike Clemens give up 2
well,
here?
This might be the thing. I mean, you've got a 13-0 lead.
Yeast awaiting inside the Toronto 50. Argos taking the full 20 seconds. Prefontaine, high punt. Yeast at his own 50, into backpedal 10, gets most of it back. However, there is nylon on the carpet after a 50-yard punt and an 8-yard return. Boy, Prefontaine's something. Imagine if he wasn't hurt. Still a 13-0 Argo lead.
Hi, I'm Chuck Norris.
And I'm Christy Brinkley.
The Total Gym is the one piece of fitness equipment that replaces an entire gym full of equipment. It's the fastest and most effective way I've ever seen to get into shape and stay in shape. A few minutes a day is all it takes to get into the best shape of your life.
And we're not the only ones that feel this way. The Total Gym is now used in over 14,000 health and fitness facilities to train millions of people each year.
It's the favorite of everyone from world-class and professional athletes to millions of families who have it in their homes. And with over $1 billion in sales in 85 countries, the Total Gym stands alone.
And right now, you can try it in your own home, absolutely risk-free, for an entire month. You won't even be charged for shipping and handling. Or you can ask for this free DVD and information kit.
To try your Total Gym, call 1-800-710-3039. That's 1-800-710-3039. Call now.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got? I have a sit rep from Alpha Company. Ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learned, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
Devontae Peterson, who had the controversial clothesline tackle of Keith Stokes about a month ago in a critical Hamilton victory called on the illegal block here. It's locked up with Ray Marius.
It's right at the end, right here. He's going to push him from behind, and as soon as he hits him from behind, the back 3-5, they throw the nylon.
So it's a 47-yard start for the Ticats. Another flag as Troy Davis churns to midfield. But this one's coming back.
Well, you talked earlier, Chris, Labor Day, 23 penalties, 240-something yards against the Ticats. I guess they're trying to beat that record today. Saw a penalty on the illegal block by Devontae Peterson in the first play. They run offensively. They get a nice yardage out of it, and then they get a hold.
And this is why your old coach Cal Murphy doesn't believe in conceding safeties. Because look at, they got a 50-yard punt, a couple of penalties. Now that Hamilton still without a point on the board, back at their own 37. McManus looking at 1st and 20. Short pass underneath. Davis brought down immediately, and it's only 3 yards.
It was 3 yards, and again the Argo defense sits back and lets the underneath be open. First thing Danny Mac sees is the opening, dumps it off. Mike Fletcher shook up a little bit. They can ill afford to lose number 2. Chuck Winters will check in. But they're getting great depth from the linebackers. There's Kevin Ivan, Mike O'Shea, bringing down the receiver after a short game.
And the stout Argo defense urging their faithful to make noise. And McManus swamped back at the 33-yard line. Second sack of the game for the Argo defense. And this Hamilton offense surrendered only 10 all year.
Well, there was a lot of talk about the fact they said, you know what, we've got the number 1 rusher. We've only given up 10 quarterback sacks. We're a little miffed. We only got 1 All-Star in Dave Hack. Well, today, the Argo defenders are exposing this offensive line because they're forcing Danny Mac to hold the football. And as a result, they're getting pressure and sacks on 14.
Eric England has both. He had only 4 all year. Borum punting. Bruce receiving it. And Sandy Beveridge down quickly to make the immediate tackle.
I saw the metal detector ad on TV, and I've always wanted one. So I called. We had the catalog in no time.
Call for your free metal detector catalog today and find out why metal detecting is one of America's fastest growing outdoor hobbies.
Detectors are so easy to use now.
The screen shows you what's in the ground before you dig it up.
You know, my dad had one, but it wasn't like this. I found a really old coin my first day out. I found this ring.
And he lost some of this.
Call for your metal detector catalog now.
37,835 on hand for this Eastern semifinal. And they're watching the Argonaut defense dominate. And the Toronto offense has done just enough. Matt Petz bringing down Avery. 1:21 to go, 3rd quarter.
Well, Matt Petz just comes and running a double tight, the Argonauts are. Trying to spread out the defense, but Petz comes around the backside and chases down John Avery, bring him down for a loss.
Come back for taking this game.
So a loss of 2, it'll be 2nd and 12. 4 receivers to the wide side. That's the direction Allen rolls, and Joe Montfort tracks him down. Well, another exhibit of why this guy is one of the finest in the Canadian Football League.
Well, you just think, and you know you got a guy that's still got pretty good elusiveness in Damon Allen to get to the outside. But 53 just closes the ground so quickly, and he's so strong. Once he gets a handful of number 9's jersey, it's all over as he throws Damon Allen to the ground, and they take a big loss. 2 losses, 2 successive plays, forcing Prefontaine on again to punt.
3rd sack of the game for Hamilton. They had 36 in their last 10 regular season games. And again, Prefontaine trying to kick them out of trouble. and using as much of the clock as he can. Yeast has to backpedal yet again. And he is swarmed and taken down. Williams and Srachinski, part of that double blue special teams unit that has been special tonight.
Now remember, Srachinski is the long snapper. And he's the first guy. They'll go to any meeting, they'll say, the snapper snaps the football, and you head up the football, son. You get down there, you get your nose on the football. That's exactly what 45 does. Just comes down, follows the football, stays in his proper lane, makes the play.
Pinball Clements told us yesterday he wanted to win the special teams battle by 14 points. Even if it's no points on the board tonight, the Argos are probably making their coach awfully happy with their play. Here's McManus.
All day.
Flag down, completion. Greg Yeast on what should have been the final play of the quarter, but there is a flag on the play.
Well, they're going to call Jonta Woodward the left tackle. Eric England is a man possessed out there. Number 95. He gets around the corner, and Woodward can only put the old lasso around the neck. Tries to hide it from the official. He throws the flag. He's right at the bottom. Gets the hand around the neck. Official right behind Danny McManus, out of view, just throws the nylon, and that'll cost him some more real estate.
12 penalties, 143 yards charged against the Tiger Cats. 1st and 20, and Davis shakes a tackle and gets 3 or 4 extra yards. Close to the 35. We're at three-quarter time at Skydome. 13-0 Argos.
Would you like to sit in your own home and with a click of a button learn how to operate your computer? From beginners needing to know the basics of how a computer works and sending emails, to people in the job market needing to know more about essential business programs, to advanced users working with HTML and Photoshop, the Video Professor covers it all. Let me show you how easy this is. The lesson plays right on top of the software program you're learning. Our step-by-step instructions not only will tell you what to do, we will show you. Just use the pause button to give yourself time to do each step. Video Professor is the fastest and easiest way to learn your computer. And I'm going to give you a chance to try this absolutely free. Do you think I'd make you an offer like this if I wasn't absolutely sure that my product will work for you and you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs? Well, I'm positive. So what are you waiting for? Try my product.
Choose from Windows, Word, the Internet, and many others free. Call 1-800-509-4617.
Bruce with the lone touchdown in this game. 13-0 Argos. Let's check the numbers through 45 minutes.
Well, I don't think much has changed. I mean, it's still a defensive struggle out there.
Worms and germs can attack your computer.
Something's wrong with your computer, and you've tried everything.
Try this.
One quick click.
Look at this, though. If there's a stat here that stands out more than anything, Hamilton, 12 penalties, 143 yards. They've shot themselves in the foot time and time again.
2nd and 14. Danny McManus deep. Incomplete, intended for Dondra Gilliam.
Well, I tell you what, in a game like this, when you're down by 13, Chris, Dondra Gilliam, you may not be able to catch this football, but do not give up on the route. Do not give up on the pattern. I kind of don't like when a receiver stops. He figures I still can't get it, so look, he just kind of pulls up. You got to be aggressive. I don't care if there's 20 guys there. You want to win this football game, you got to be the guy that maybe has to make the play. Get the football, son.
You wonder about the impact of that enormous hit he took in the first half by Antonius Bonner that left him on the field shaken for quite some time. Forum to punt it away. Not as good a kick. Fielded on the bounce by Bruce. Up to the 38. We saw Arlen Bruce on the sidelines talking to Andre Rison. Not in the Argo lineup, but also subbing as a receiver coach. As we check Damon Allen on the evening. And the big strike to Arlen Bruce III.
And throws a couple little passes. I like the fact that he utilized the entire field. And how about the game that Andre Talbot has had? There's R.J. Sear, nice move by Sauer. But there's the man, number 4, leads the catching. 5 receptions for this Argonaut receiving group.
And the Hamilton defense has to shut them out now. Palmer with the catch. Up across midfield, so there's the other Canuck receiver.
Well, there's the other Canadian Smurf. These guys aren't the tallest guys, 5'10", but I'll tell you what, they're valuable. They find openings in the zone. They just get down there, and look at the effort to go down and catch that football. Damon Allen throwing that ball down and away where only Michael Palmer can come up with that catch.
Burlington native Michael Palmer, 15 catches during the regular season. Argo first down into Hamilton territory, and that play doesn't get off. Argo receivers were across the line, and some motion at the line.
Well, that was just Chad Folk right there.
Procedure. Toronto 65.
Well, they're going to give it to Sanzi and Annunziata, but that's just Damon Allen pulls away. He anticipates getting his snap count on the first audible or the first sound, and as he pulls away, he doesn't get the football. So everybody kind of, even though it's amazing when you're an offensive lineman and you're at that guard position, you're watching the guy in front of you, you can actually, from the side of your view, still see the quarterback.
So it's 1st and 15. Back at the 53. Allen, Bruce, spins away. Arlen Bruce down to the 40, has a first down.
Well, when you're in a big game, and this is the biggest game, baby, because I tell you what, you got 2 sets of suitcases, one on each sideline, and the loser packs theirs and goes home. Arlen Bruce has come to play. He's bigger and stronger since coming back from the NFL. Now look at, he gets hit by 2 guys, refuses to go down, little shake and bake. It's plays like that that really fire up your team.
18 yards for Bruce. Argos looking for the killer instinct now. Nothing there as Avery falls forward.
Well, I think when Avery got that handoff, he looked up and he saw about 5 or 6 Ticats, and I think he kind of got a little turf toe, got caught in the turf, went down hard. He's going to kind of leave the game. Kind of tripped up there.
So Avery to one sidelines, Belly comes out. Johnny Scott back in. Belly heated up about it too. I don't think he wanted to come out. 2nd and 11. 6 receivers set. Allen takes off. And he'll be pulled down by the middle linebacker. Baranchia at the 40. And now Pinball Clements has a decision.
Well, I think we've seen the strength of Noel Prefontaine's leg already, but what a job by the rookie linebacker, Augustin Baranchia. This kid has got a future. The mold, made the mold of Mike O'Shea. Look at the closing speed and the wrap up. This kid's got a nice future in this league, I'm telling you right now.
Cut last year at Ticat camp. Greg Marshall told us yesterday he wondered about even bringing him back, and then he got the word from some McMaster coaches who were guest coaches 2 years ago that the kid was worth a second look. So here we go.
And that's another reason you have Canadian university coaches in the CFL, because they know the talent at the university level.
47-yard attempt by Prefontaine. And his great night continues. Wow. It's a 16-point Argo lead on the toe of Noel Prefontaine.
Worms and germs can attack your computer.
Something's wrong with your computer and you've tried everything.
Try this.
One quick click. Velos will keep your entire system virus-free, safe, and secure.
With Velos, to make it faster than the day you got it.
Visit velos.com.
And make it quick.
If you even think you're slowing down, get a free virus scan at velos.com and make it fast.
I began losing my hair about a year ago. Is it ever gonna stop? What causes it to fall out anyway?
Let's say I'm ready to do something about my hair loss. What are my options?
Why me?
It's hard to know what to do when you start losing your hair. That's where Bosley comes in. For over 25 years, people have turned to us for answers to their questions about hair loss and hair restoration.
So what is natural hair restoration? Where does the hair come from? Is it permanent?
Does the hair actually grow?
To find out, just call this toll-free number. We'll send you this free video and comprehensive guidebook that give you the real facts about hair loss and the choices you have for dealing with it. Financing is available. So call now and discover how Bosley has advanced the science of natural hair restoration, how they use your own living hair to fill in the thin spots. You'll also meet people who were once losing their hair and see what they looked like then and now.
But here's the big question. Do you think my barber will remember me?
Learn about all your options. Call now and get the information you need to determine if hair restoration is right for you.
Just a reminder to log on to our website in the second half and cast your vote for Warrior of the Game. Yes, the kicker is very much in the picture here today. You decide who showed the true character. Eric England, a couple of sacks of the Warriors, and a lot of guys on the defensive side of the football are candidates. And the Ticats now into crunch time where they need to put points on the board.
Well, they need to put points on the board, and you can see they're still not going to stray from their game plan because obviously we are going to still run Troy Davis.
Chris, I wondered about the Argo defense down the stretch. Look at the numbers they allowed in the last 3 games, but they have responded tonight. In fact, in those 3 games, they gave up more touchdowns than the first 15 games. But here's Davis outside, and he steps out at the 46-yard line.
Well, Archie Amerson's going to be down. He got caught up in some traffic. Dondre Gilliam and Archie Amerson came back to help block the spring. Troy Davis to the outside, and I think that Archie Amerson is not going to be staying in the football game as a result. He comes back and makes a play, and he gets caught. He's trying to block Clifford Ivory, and Dondre Gilliam, who's blocking Adrian Smith, into him. And once again, Archie Amerson has been battling that left knee injury. Caught off guard, as so often happens. Pascal Sharon gets outside, and it's a run, pick up a first down.
19 yards for Davis. He has 75 on the night. First down in Argo territory, back to Davis, so they stick to the ground game, down to the 40, 7 more. Clock running, approaching the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter.
Well, it's a scenario right now where they're faking the outside, just doing a quick hitters to Troy Davis, who's busting it up, and he's picking up 7-8 yards. Remember, the clock now, with 9:50 and ticking, is not your friend if you're a Ticat.
Quick hitter, Flick, flag down, and Jordan Younger there to make sure Flick wasn't going anywhere. But this is the CFL, and although this hasn't been a characteristic CFL night, offside Toronto the call. Remember last week in BC when Saskatchewan trailed by 18, and in 2 minutes they were up in the game.
And that's it. I mean, don't turn the sets off. I mean, I'm telling you right now, this is like
Toronto 95. First down.
Well, Eric England with the penalty, but what has to happen right now, you'll have to put some points on the board. Ticats must put some sort of points on the board on this drive.
They have just one play over 20 yards tonight. McManus wants more now to DJ Flick. And it's knocked down by the fine first-year corner, Jordan Younger.
We've had the luxury of doing a number of Argo games. If there's a guy in the secondary that I think is a star in this league, Jordan Younger is him. I mean, this kid is just a wonderful cover guy down the field. He's step for step. Look how he plays this football. He's got one eye. He knows where the receiver is. And then he goes up and plays that football. But what good corners do is they make sure that even if they don't come up with the interception, they don't allow the receiver to catch that football.
It's getting loud here at Skydome as the Ticats approach the line, 2nd and 10. McManus almost picked off Michael Fletcher. Intended for Amerson back in. But 3rd down, and Jamie Borum will have to come out to attempt the Ticats' first points of the game.
Well, they just read the eyes. This is simply following the eyesight of Danny McManus. Michael Fletcher read the eyes, went to the side, got a good jump on that football, and should have come up with a great interception that would again once eliminate another opportunity for the Ticats to put some points on the board.
From the 42-yard line, he hit the upright from 48. And he just missed the upright there. Livingston in the end zone. There's a block, an open lane out, and he will step out. And may have gotten himself off the hook when it looked like he was going to concede the single. Nearly stopped inside the 5, but Bashar Livingston gets the Argos out of trouble.
These guys are one step away from the National Hockey League. They're very, very hungry. Like Joe Ballet, who sticks out because he's a great offensive player. He's certainly going to put the numbers up, and he's an exciting guy to watch. Fiddler's tough. He shoots the puck well. He skates well. He can play the game any way you want to play it. He's one of the bright young stars in the game. Jed Ortmeyer, he'll provide some real leadership, but he'll also provide that energy and that spark, and comes in with a world of experience as well. They'll work hard, they'll play hard, and hopefully we can translate that into what we're going to do in New York.
Introducing the New York Post Family Classics Library. When your children pick up a classic, they may never put it down. Each week when you buy the New York Post, you'll be able to get a new high-quality hardcover novel available at participating retailers. There are 15 books in all, only $5.99. Start your family's literary legacy today with the New York Post Family Classics Library. Only when you buy the New York Post.
Join me and Deb Kaufman for Sports Desk, presented by Toyota after tonight's CFL game. Deb chats with radio analyst Dave Jennings, and we'll also have the story of the Nets and Bulls, as well as the latest on Wally Backman after the game.
Saturday on MSG, it's more great college football action as the Panthers of Pittsburgh head for Syracuse to battle the Orange in a Big East Conference showdown live from the Carrier Dome. Pittsburgh takes on Syracuse, Saturday at noon, only on MSG Network.
Afternoon, the West Semi. Henry Burris and the Saskatchewan Roughriders meet the Eskimos at Commonwealth Stadium, 3:30 Eastern. The pregame show, Moss versus Burris for the right to go to BC Place. And a date with Wally Buono's Lions in the West Final. The Montreal Alouettes await the winner of this Eastern Semi. Controlled so far by the Argos. John Avery straight ahead for a couple. But Chris, you didn't really like Livingston's decision, even though he did get out near the 20.
No, I think, you know what, you got the lead, you basically give up the point, you take it at the point of a field goal attempt, which is 42. Look at the split. That's a smart move of the tight end to line up 3 yards wider than the tackle. That puts Joe Montford 3 yards wider from the ball carrier.
Second and 7. Carl Coulter wants his hands on the football as soon as possible. Allen underneath. Arlen Bruce flagged down. And Bruce plunging ahead for the first down. And they'll tack on a roughing the passer penalty, and they'll tack on more as Tim Cheatwood just kicked the flag in disgust.
Well, this is when you lose composure right here. It's an emotional game. You get the penalty. You may not agree with it, but you're never going to win that battle with the referee. He's not going to put the flag back and say, oh, sorry, Mr. Cheatwood.
Roughing the quarterback. Hamilton 49. Objectionable conduct. Hamilton 49. First down.
He's up at the top. He's working against field goal. The ball's delivered. Yeah, and that's this. You know, you can't throw a flag like that. I mean, I don't blame him, but you can't do this. That is frustrating. This is a football game.
Hey, this is a playoff game.
It's a playoff game, and I tell you, that is just, you can't throw the flag. He pulled up. We've seen a number 9. I'm surprised Greg Marshall's not over there. Well, this is. I mean, let the people play. Let them win. Don't let the officials decide. I mean, you got instant field possession. Bad call resulted 30 yards.
First down for the Argos near midfield. And the Argos call a timeout.
You know, we talk about this team, Chris. We say they've taken some undisciplined penalties. Penalties that have hurt them. But you got to also let the people play. And when Cheatwood comes around, he pulls up. Now, if he cranked Damon Allen, yeah, you throw the flag. He had one arm on his shoulder pads, and that was it. You can't throw a flag. There's such a thing as contact and no contact, even when you're making contact with the quarterback, if that makes sense to you, because it just frustrates you. He's over the top. He's working against field goal. He pulls up. Now, he pulls up, puts one arm on, and he just slides down. He doesn't drag him down. He lets his hands go. See the hand come off? He pulls the hand off of Damon Allen.
I thought maybe they assumed he'd gone for the head, but clearly off the shoulder. Allen has to pull it down. Now delivers incomplete. Andre Talbot. And now we get another late flag.
And again, who's making the call? It's not the official on the sideline who's facing the receiver. It's the guy behind the line of scrimmage.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Hamilton 49.
Cheatwood again.
Well, that's why he threw the flag then. We thought they threw it on the interference on Talbot. I was wondering, how can a guy in the back of the line of scrimmage throw a flag down the field? But Cheatwood has lost it now.
And Greg Marshall just pulled Cheatwood out.
You've got to get him out. I mean, now he takes a swipe at Jude St. John, 66. They got double team on him. He's going to go around. He gets flushed outside. He can't make the tackle. Now as he goes back, you know, Jude St. John gives him a shot. That's what you can do. The play's still going on. He retaliates. They always catch the retaliator. Bad penalty.
188 yards in penalties. More flags as Avery works forward. Less than 7 minutes left on the clock.
And I got to say, I mean, 188 penalties. And I talked about the thing that Tim Cheatwood is one heck of a football player. Let's not forget the fact. But you're judged as a football player as your contribution to your football team. And that means on the play and during the play. Now, you may not make the play, but don't hurt your team by taking unnecessary penalty. Yeah, you got a bad call against you on the rough and the passer. But you got to suck it up, get back to the lineup, and make sure next time that you're in the quarterback before he throws the football. But to go after an O-lineman, and you're not going to hurt, you know, St. John by hitting him in the head. The guy's 350 pounds. Got to hit him with a jackhammer.
First and 15 after the Argos went offside. Here comes Montford. Allen straight ahead. And he'll slide inside the 35. And it will be 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4, but a nice job of using the clock. Look at, as that opened, the great divide in the middle of the offensive line, and Damon Allen sees it, takes advantage of the old safe slide, picks up 5 yards, puts them in a 2nd and 5 situation, and again, they're in field goal range.
Trying to put this one on ice with under 6 to go. Allen will swing it. That's Tony Miles. And he will lose yards back at the 39. Bernard Cox was there. Last shutout in playoff history, 1976, Hamilton defeating Montreal. Ticats have not been shut out since 79 when they were blanked by the Argos in a regular season game, 25-0.
Again, I like the fact that Damon Allen utilizing all his players, spreading the ball around. Little reverse by Miles, toss the ball to him, see if he can make something happen in open field. He's brought down, but they used up some of the clock again, and it really is becoming an enemy of the Ticats with 5:39 left.
The storybook season may be having its final chapter written here for the Ticats. Prefontaine looking to angle that. A little too much on that one. It'll go to Goss in the end zone. And he's thinking about bringing it out. Instead it's a point. And it's 17-0. And now Hamilton needs 3 scores.
Own a timeshare or campground membership? Turn it into cash.
Timeshares Only got us our full asking price before our next monthly payment was due.
Timeshares Only is the nation's largest, #1 most successful timeshare agency, representing properties from the biggest names in the industry.
No one sells more timeshares.
Call now and receive a free information kit, including 10 secrets to timeshares. You owe it to yourself to work with the best.
Don't delay. Call 800-910-8635 now.
On November 13th, when IBF champ Chris Bird enters the ring to fight challenger Jameel McCline, he'll be facing more than a 6'6", 260-pound powerhouse. Chris Bird will be fighting his best friend. There won't be any hesitation, no love lost. Friendship is one thing, but with the IBF title on the line, this is war. It's an unforgettable night of heavyweights with 4 power-punching bouts. Saturday, November 13th, live at Madison Square Garden. For tickets, call Ticketmaster or visit the Garden box office.
Looking for the perfect hotel where you can just relax? Send in the experts. When you use Hotels.com, it's like sending in a team of experts that check out everything you need to know about hotels. So log on or call our certified hotel agents 24/7 to help you find the perfect hotel at the perfect price. Like Miami from just $49.95. Hotels.com. Best prices, best places, guaranteed.
Argos trying to extend, including preseason games, their unbeaten streak to 13 against the Tiger Cats, and here's how it's unfolded so far tonight.
Boy, I tell you, take a look at Prefontaine, injured, playing tough man role today. 3 field goals. What a punt average, 51 yards a punt.
And maybe the biggest story of all, this Argonaut defense that has righted the ship and looks like it's ready for Anthony Calvillo and the Alouettes.
You know what, and that you got to give credit to Rich Stubler, the defensive coordinator, who's just done a masterful job of out-scheming Jamie Barisi, the offensive coordinator for the Ticats right now. They've made great adjustments in stopping the run game, not making Troy Davis a factor.
DJ Flick, hurry-up offense, has a first down for Hamilton. Rich Stubler on the sidelines has to love the way it's unfolded here tonight. Danny McManus downfield. Mike Morielli holds on. A spectacular catch and a 17-yard gain.
Will that be the lift the Ticats need to finally put some points on the board? Mike Morielli going down the field, sacrificing the body, making the great catch, leaving his feet, knowing he's going to get a shot, holds on to the football. Kenny Wheaton with the smack, but Morielli with the grab.
32-year-old McMaster graduate Morielli, and Kenny Wheaton is down after the tackle. Danny McManus has been held to 135 yards passing on the night after that completion by Morielli. Less than 4 minutes to go.
This is the Mantis Tiller Cultivator.
It weighs only 20 pounds, but packs more power than you might have thought possible. The Mantis tiller digs in at 240 revolutions a minute, and optional attachments handle all kinds of gardening chores. This is a remarkable machine. And here's a remarkable offer. Purchase a Mantis tiller direct from the factory, use it for a year, and if you don't absolutely love it, send it back and we'll refund your money.
For free information, call 1-800-282-0023.
Just restarted play with a pass in the flat to DJ Flick. Close to 9 yards for the Eastern All-Star wideout. Danny McManus has to make things happen in a hurry now. 2nd and a yard. And they'll give it to Davis. And it opened up on the right side momentarily. Davis thought he'd get more. He has the first down. Bonner the stop.
Well, Clifford Ivory came in like a heat-seeking missile, number 13, and it's all stuffed up the middle. He tries to break outside, make something happen, but 13 just comes flying underneath and takes out the legs of Troy Davis, who slams the ball down. A little frustration is starting to set in. Troy Davis.
Under 3 minutes to go. McManus, Fleck. First one misses. DJ Fleck brought down by Antonius Bonner. Another first down as the 3-minute warning is given to the benches here in the 4th quarter of the Eastern Final. Sevi.
Crunches ever.
Introducing the Ab Lounge, scientifically designed to get you up off the floor, making old-fashioned crunches a thing of the past.
Sculpt your abdominals using the Ab Lounge jackknife, proven in university testing to be better for your body.
It's as easy as a crunch, but the Ab Lounge design makes every move really count, targeting your abs without wasted effort.
Compare the Ab Lounge to an old-fashioned crunch. The advanced Ab Lounge jackknife generates up to 75% more muscle activity in the upper and lower abdominals, and an amazing 268% more in the love handle obliques.
I have this one pair of jeans. After just 8 weeks, my fat jeans don't really fit anymore.
With its rolled steel frame, the Ab Lounge supports up to 275 pounds.
And it's so easy, almost anyone can use it.
Call now to try the Ab Lounge for 30 days for just $14.95. If you don't agree the Ab Lounge is the best way to a sexy stomach, return it within 30 days for a refund of your $14.95.
Call now and say goodbye to crunches forever.
Ticats threatening to score here late 4th quarter as we check Chris Walby's Gillette game notes.
Well, we talked about offensively the big fight between Jamie Barisi and Rich Stubler. Obviously Stubler, who is undefeated coming into this match from the red corner, is still looks like he might be victorious.
That's the blue corner.
Okay, the blue corner. I'll let you go with that. No pressure here. It's all over. They had 3 sacks. They've done a good job on defense. They just haven't had much help from their offense.
But it's not done yet. And McManus trying to push it over in a hurry. Looks to the end zone. Picked off. It's over now. Kenny Wheaton's got it. Kenny Wheaton still going. Kenny Wheaton's gone. Booked the trip to Montreal. Touchdown, Toronto. Big defensive play by the double blue defense.
Well, it's a situation where Danny McManus knew he had to put 7 on the board. You can't settle for a field goal. You have to have a touchdown. This ball just underthrown. He's trying to hit Morreale in the end zone instead of doing the rainbow throw, trying to drop it in. Tries to fire a line drive. Kenny Wheaton sees it, picks it up, Look at that entourage all the way down for a touchdown.
Unofficially 118 yards, which would be the longest interception return in CFL playoff history. Prefontaine the extra point, and Michael Clements is 1/3 the way through his goal for a 3-game win streak in November.
Well, dare I say it, step one is done. As Danny Mac take another look as he sits back there and tries to thread the needle, only to have Kenny Wheaton, who was shook up a little earlier in the drive on a hit to Mike Morreale, come up with his biggest play. And Chris, as you say, 118 yards later with the rest of his teammates escorting him to the end zone, I believe that is the final nail. Now it is 24-0 with 2:24 left on the clock.
What's up, Mama? Phoenix, Arizona. Good, all y'all. Love y'all. That's what's here. Y'all know that.
He might not be the highest profile member of that secondary, but he might be the hardest hitter. And he just provided the knockout blow.
Well, he started with a hit on Mike Morreale, and he finished it by hitting the whole entire Ticat team where it hurts on the scoreboard.
And Bonner made it hurt even more as McManus looked for a flag.
As you take a look at Marcus Brady warming up.
We talked about this yesterday, Chris. Regardless of this score, it's not going to change the fact that it was an amazing Hamilton story this year.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the guy that deserves a lot of credit, two people, Bob Young, the owner, who has made it fun to go watch a football game in Hamilton again. And Greg Marshall, you know what, he's going to open a door up for a lot of University Canadian coaches. He's coming here and done a stand-up, outstanding job turning this team around from 1-17 to playoff contenders. And this team is only going to get better as the years go on.
Greg Marshall telling Danny McManus, the night is done, great year, but it's not ending the way he had hoped. We can confirm now it's officially a 116-yard touchdown on the interception return by Kenny Wheaton, a playoff record. The guys in the truck have the previous record from 97. I don't think Saskatchewan Roughrider fans want to see this one again as they look forward to Sunday in Edmonton. But Kenny Wheaton tonight on 116 yards and telling the guys how he did it as we have an injured Argo on the field, 2:18 left on the clock.
And you know what, Chris? Getting back to the Ticats and the team they pulled together, bringing over Belly and some of the other players, watching Joe Montford return to the form that he had, picking up guys like Chris Martin and Goss in the secondary. I mean, they've got all the pieces. Jamie Borum, a good kicker with a bright future.
They've got the foundation set. They've got a receiving core, the best running back in the league. And, you know, it's funny, 41-year-old Damon Allen, 39-year-old Danny McManus, and really not much discussion about it being the final game for either of the quarterbacks, who both, for the most part, are leaning towards a return next year. So Marcus Brady, the former Argo in, and Troy Davis isn't going to give up.
Well, Troy Davis is going to get a lot of yardage running the football right now because the Argos are in a prevent. They're sitting back deep, dropping everything. All their linebackers are down about 10 yards back, taking away the pass. You know, if you want to run the football, we're going to give you those 10, 12-yard chunks. But again, the clock is going to be working against you.
Here's Brady, look one way, he'll take off the other. And Marcus Brady scampers out inside the 40-yard line. He got a couple of starts on the season and came in in Week 4 against Toronto, and McManus was knocked out of the game. Troy Davis over 100 yards on the evening, by the way. And remember, Marcus Brady in last year's Eastern Final when he came off the bench. 3 touchdown passes.
Almost pulled it out.
So it will be for the 3rd consecutive year. Toronto at Montreal in the Eastern Final.
And I don't think that's any task that's envied by anyone. Of course, you want to go in there, but you got to go into the Big O, playing a team led by number 13, Anthony Cavill, who has they've just put out some tremendous numbers the last couple weeks. 50 points against Ottawa, 58 against these Argos. Mind you, they rested 10 starters. Now we could talk about the controversy too as well. The fans were after this team saying, why would you sit your starters? And he said, we want to be healthy because this is the biggest game. Well, they've answered that now.
And apparently the fans understood because they came out over 37,000 strong tonight. Brady, quick hit, flick. And he is close to another first down. Chris, wrap up your Argo-Gillette game notes.
Well, on offense, we said for them to be successful, Damon to Miles and Avery be a dangerous combo. 180 yards passing, Miles 18 receiving yards, Avery 32. Misleading, but they did just enough to put some points on the board. Arlen Bruce really had a big game. And on defense, TNT, the dynamite man, Troy Davis, they had to try and neutralize him. He had 105 rushing yards, albeit when they really didn't matter much.
Now, where was your stuff about stopping Andre Talbot, who had his best game of the year? 5 catches,
we talked about
yards.
that. That's what's so great about playoffs. You never know who's the guy that's going to be the hero. He came off, he's led this receiver crew in the Argos with 5 catches. And, that just makes you feel like, I'm the man. I mean, they always talk about the rises from the NFL. They talked about Arlen Bruce and then R.J. Soward. And then there's Talbot saying, hey, buddy, you see my game? Not bad.
First down for Marcus Brady. Pumps and escapes. And is able to swivel past Mike O'Shea inside the 20. Let's close the book on Danny McManus's Eastern semi.
A little better than 50% throwing the football. 156 yards. But obviously the thing that's haunted him the whole year, and there it is again, number 2 interceptions. Obviously the one big one returned for a touchdown by Kenny Wheaton.
And nothing deep. The longest play was 22 yards. That was a run by Amerson. Flick another short pass. I think it's fair to say, though, Chris, as we look ahead to next week, the Argos have to be this solid on defense, and you'd believe better on offense if they're going to beat Montreal.
Well, I think that's, that you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that, because right now you definitely have to do that. We take a look at the head-to-head matches this season, Toronto versus Montreal. Aside from that, let's get rid of this one because this one really has no bearing on it. That's the one that everybody sat out. We know that Anthony Cavill threw for a ton of yards to get a 6,000. But they always match up well against the Alouettes.
Our first down as Brady looks like he's trying to change the play in the din. And there's the little option toss. Troy Davis down to the 10-yard line with 86 seconds on the clock.
Closed captioning is brought to you by
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
the new Pontiac G6, launching this fall.
Arlen Bruce, Bashar Livingston savoring the moment, wondering if the shutout will hold as Brady rolls right. Can't find anybody. Now in the end zone. Incomplete to Kara and Gilliam in the same neighborhood with plenty of traffic. And the Ticat receivers may have got the ball loose.
I think they decided to play a little defender receiver themselves as Dondre Gilliam gets caught up with Tonkara in the end zone. And the end result is again a situation where nobody could come up with the reception that would put some points on the board. It looks like Gilliam has it until, and you're right, his receiver, the other receiver, runs him over.
Third down and 5 as the Argos try to preserve the shutout. And that's thrown away, and these fans will respond as it's turned over on downs.
Well, and you have to give credit where credit's due, Chris, and Rich Stubler and this defensive 12 that played really have played about as good a football game as I've seen them play all year. And you see Coach Clemens on the field talking about Damon Allen saying, going down, don't take any chance with the football, kill the clock. But they just took away the run. They had to take away the run. That was their first priority. Stop Troy Davis. They did that. As you say, they took away the long pass. They made everything that Danny did complete underneath, and they wrapped up, and they tackled very well. And you know what? I got to bring up that one point, because if there was one criticism on this defense in weeks past, it was their shoddy tackling.
A team that really hadn't played well since Thanksgiving. Avery straight ahead.
Had to play well today, baby.
What a game he had. Eric England, the pair of sacks.
Got to shut out, baby. We ready for next week.
Well, this is a defense that turned it up a notch, did some different things than they're used to doing. Ran a lot of twisting motions with the inside defensive linemen, a lot of stunts. Mike O'Shea, Kevin Ivan.
What's up, Roy Brown? Trey Return, baby. What's good?
Mike O'Shea probably already thinking about next Sunday. Jonathan Brown whipping everybody into a final minute frenzy. Avery nailed as Joe Montford's going to go down the way he plays every play. And the warrior of the game is a deserving kicker. What can you say about this guy? Playing on a possibly torn oblique muscle. He punted the heck out of the ball. He got tangled up with Adriano Belli, and he kicked the field goals that he needed. Roughed up, maybe a little bit of an acting job. He's the warrior of the game.
Warrior of the game, brought to you by Rona, the how-to people, proudly Canadian.
Who was it? Greg Frere said Prefontaine could be the key to the game. Absolutely.
I was a little surprised he came up with that. All the hairspray he's got.
I know it's going to have Sean Millington gnashing his teeth for a while.
No, that was very astute. He made the right call. That was the question mark coming into the football game. And boy, he sure responded in a big way. And a well-deserved choice for Warrior of the game.
2 yards. Toronto number 8, 15-yard penalty. First down.
Mike Crum shaken up on the play. And it's the only thing now. The Argos want to get out unscathed. It looks like they will. And a class veteran, Dan McManus, congratulating his teammates, because put it in perspective, 1-17 to 9-8-1 in the first playoff berth in 3 years.
Remember, there's other guys on this team. There's Carl Coulter. He's hoping to get another kick at the cat. He would, for lack of a better term. He's up there. He's hoping to play another year. And, you know, these guys are getting a little long in the tooth, but they still feel that they can contribute. Danny Mack says, I'll come back if, Carl, you come back. And that's a class act, just walking over, talking to all the players, all the new players. You know, we heard earlier this week that Carl Coulter had a little in-house session with all the young guys talking about don't be satisfied just to be at the playoff game. Don't be satisfied with the fact we turned the season around from last year. We got to go out there hungry and try and take it to the next level. They didn't do that today, but I think, as you said earlier, great foundation for the future.
There's Brady swinging it out. Kojo Adu with the ball, and a flag on the play. 19 seconds remaining before this one's in the books. Roughing the passer. That shutout is precarious right now as they march it down to the 14-yard line of the Argonauts.
And with 19 seconds, you got a couple, 3 downs to possibly put some points in the end zone, which would kind of take away from the stellar effort this defensive crew has put together today.
Brady with another shot, putting points on the board. Flick out of bounds at the 8-yard line, 15 seconds to go. Again, Sunday, Saskatchewan at Edmonton. Burris versus Moss. Two young guys still trying to make their playoff mark. McManus and Allen already have, both winning 3 Grey Cups. And Damon Allen focusing on number 4. Second down, Brady. Over the middle, Mike Moriali won't get there, dropped it. And are they going to mark it? Yes, at the 2 for the Ticats.
Well, how fitting. 3rd down and 2, and this is what you don't want to see. Their stellar youngster, Jonathan Brown, a little beat up right there, going down. You hate to lose any player that quality in the last minute of a football game, knowing full well you're going to need him at full strength against that tough Montreal offense next week.
Final play of the Eastern Semi, and the Argos dig in, trying to preserve the shutout. Brady with time, into the end zone, touchdown. So Mike Moriali, a Hamilton boy and a former Argo, make sure they don't leave empty-handed. And Greg Marshall even could muster a smile that at least they cracked through.
Well, no quit. Still some fight left in the dog. Dog got kicked a couple times, but...
Or the cat.
Well, I didn't want to use the cat again, because you know it's going to be like, stop using the cat terminology. We understand that, so then I use the dog. I like to do all breeds. Maybe a parrot next time, I don't know.
And now they'll go for 2. And Budstein, time count violation.
There's no infraction on the play. The umpire was setting the ball. We're going to play the convert from the 5.
Clock ran down, but the official just spotting the ball properly. Again, Mike Clemens says a longer week to prepare for the Eastern Final on this Friday night. 9 days away, the showdown in Montreal. Waiting for 2, but plenty of heat. And it's incomplete. And it will go in the books as a 24-6 Toronto victory in the Eastern semifinal. And for the 3rd straight year, we're ready for Toronto and Montreal in the Eastern final. Here's Brenda Irving.
Arlad, Bruce, was that huge first touchdown of the game. How important was it to come out strong like that?
It's big. We had to set the tone first half. As soon as we come out, you could see guys was fired up. We had to come out and execute, and that's what we did.
Look ahead to Montreal. What are some of the challenges they pose for this team?
You know what? We got 9 days to look at that. We're going to just go and film and sharpen up what we got, and then take care of what we need to take care of next week.
There was a lot of criticism on this team because they rested 10 starters. How did the fresh legs help this week?
It helped a lot. Coach Clemens, players play, coaches coach, and Coach Clemens made a great decision for the guys to rest, and we came out victorious today.
Congratulations. Well, let's go upstairs now to Chris Cuthbert. Congratulations, Arlen.
All right, appreciate it.
Thank you, Brenda. Marlon Bruce with that touchdown catch from Damon Allen. At 41 years of age, conferring with Kevis Reed, the defensive coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Kenny Wheaton and company savoring this one They're on to Montreal in the Eastern Final after a 24-6 victory tonight.